Yeah.
Indoors.
Okay, we're going live.
Where's the rest of the crew? Your guys' crew, Jim.
They're coming. There's Steve.
Oh, there's Steve.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, Steve.
I'm in here for a little bit, and I got to go out because I've got a city zoning meeting I've got to attend online.
I see. Cool.
Man, we had this. You know, I'm trying to do everything in a hurry, and I can't get anything done. This damn computer is just too slow.
Oh,
There was
darn XT.
Did you go back and get that reestablished shot you sent
Yes.
that email?
yeah,
Nice.
I had to go reshoot all of that. It turns out, you know, Al, I needed the weight on the front of that 45 millimeter lens. And so I went back, reshot it with no ND filters, no UV and no NDs.
I was
But
getting that purple magenta when I was filming with my X5 on the Inspire one with serious micro vibrations.
yes,
So that's when I seen your shot, and I was like, I wonder if it's the ND filter, especially since they were stacked.
yes.
So it was a shot. Because the rest of it was sharp. Looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was with the 25 millimeter.
Mhm.
Couldn't win with the 45. I had bought, you're not going to believe this, Al. I bought the DJI balance ring a long time ago. So long ago that I can't find the damn thing.
Oh. That sucks.
I have torn this place apart looking for
So
it.
using the ND filters to balance it?
Yeah.
Yep. You can also use those fishing leads, the lead weights, and put them on
There you go.
on certain spots. It's hard to balance, but you're compared to what the Inspire 2 and especially Inspire 1 with that 45 millimeter lens, you have no micro vibration. It is stable, and you're panning on shots. It looks
That
I wanna
is
give
a
it away
lot.
'cause you're gonna-
That's because that X5 on the Inspire 1. What the hell is this? Spam.
Well, there you go.
What
Telephone.
was I going to say? The X5 camera is 930 grams, so it's heavy enough to take that front end lens. But the X5S, because it doesn't have the processor on it, that's in the drone. It's only 430 grams. So
Wow.
It's able to balance.
Less than half the amount.
yeah.
Right.
And what happened to me, Al, when I didn't use the ND filters and all that, I'd be shooting along, and all of a sudden the lens would go up and then
I'll
pop,
start drifting.
pop and turn. Yeah. If the motors can't take that. The DJI motors weren't made to take that abuse.
Wow.
Certain shots just film auto and lock your exposure, and you'll be good to go.
There you go.
No NDs. You know, it's a short little shot.
Listen to this guy.
I've been.
Don't listen to me. I know nothing. Listen to that guy. Oh,
So we had a bit of an explosion here in Palm Bay, good old Palm Bay, Florida, and this tank right by these new apartments. I had shot that new apartment complex going. First, let's say hello to the gang. Let me get darn.
I forgot you were live. Hello, everyone. Sorry for being rude.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Me too. Where's-
Tomas, Wendell.
Steve, Al.
Mel.
Tomas, whatever.
Good morning. I should say Tomas.
I think I actually put Tomas's time on my phone so I could see it. Him and that ugly guy. What's his name? From Australia.
Matt?
Yeah, oh yeah, Matt. That's his name. That ugly guy. Matt North keeps putting out great videos.
He did an incredible job with that mountain video.
So we got Tomas, Wendell live, Jody, drone shots, Mitch.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Jody.
Oh, my computer. Mel,
Hi, Mel.
guy named
Tomas.
Al.
Don't know who that guy is. Mitch.
Yeah.
I'll be
Dan.
drowned.
Yeah, Dano.
How you
Dan.
doing? So,
Wendell.
yeah. Al, when I went back, I still had the micro. Who's this guy? Anybody know this guy?
Don't
Never
know
seen
him.
him before in my life. Hi, Ken. How are you?
Hey, fellers, what's happening?
How you doing?
So anyway, we had this explosion. Hey,
Hey, Henry.
that is a
Woof,
Art's
woof.
on first name basis. He knows the name of his
what's
dog.
that mix again, Ken?
What's that?
What's the dog's mix again? That's not
Oh,
dog.
he's like a min pin Chihuahua thing.
Right.
Oh.
Henry.
What are you,
Hello.
Yeah. what are you guys
Your
talking
mic is
about?
mute, Jim.
An explosion
about
over
every-
an explosion over by Jim.
An explosion?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had an explosion at a chemical plant. So naturally, I was trying to get it and then get home, edit it, and then I got stopped on the way home by these guys from Spectrum Networks, who is owned by Comcast, who owns everything now because they bought all the apps on TV, Voodoo, Fandango. So Comcast, under different names, is just buying up everything, man. So when we
Comcast is
Ken,
everywhere around
when we
here.
pay our internet, we're paying them for everything else too.
Did they want your footage? What was it?
Yeah. They want the footage. So I was trying to get it up to Google Drive because I bought the extra space instead of Dropbox, and trying to get it in my Cyberlink Director Suite, trying to edit there, and just the computer just wouldn't handle it.
What kind of footage did you get? What did it show?
You
You're
lost your
muted.
audio. You're muted.
You're muted, Jim. Unmute yourself.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. It hates my Yeti mic.
Hmm.
Let me see.
Unplug the USB and plug it back in.
I bought a powered 10 port. 3 of them are power, and the other 7 are regular USB ports.
Oh, you have it plugged into a hub?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes these microphones require something called phantom power. They require extra power, and sometimes the hubs don't give enough USB power to do that. So if you can plug it directly into your computer without the hub, then it'll fix that more than likely.
Yeah. There you
All right. So where's the video?
go.
This was the
Oh.
little plant, and then of course there was big plumes of smoke and all that. These stacks are empty. I don't know what they were, but apparently they've got 50-gallon drums of isopropyl alcohol sitting out there, and a refrigeration unit caused them to explode.
Ooh.
Wow.
And I eventually get over to this, but right behind me right now is this brand new apartment complex they just put up called Aqua Apartments. And if these people only knew what was behind the trees.
How far away from that do you live?
Oh, this is only maybe 5 miles from me.
Oh, wow. Do you ever get like air testing done?
No. And actually, I didn't even know they were there.
Oh, surprise.
Look on the ground right behind.
Are you
these
sure? Are you
stacks.
sure it was isopropyl? And you're sure somebody didn't have some stills running and it blew up?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
isopropyl.
Could have been some Jethro out in the woods making shine.
All the white stuff on the ground is the foam, and actually the fire police investigators were still there and all that. But hell, it was one hell of a plume of smoke, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Oh,
No
yeah.
issues flying over it, Jim? Nobody come attack you?
No, not this time.
Do they create TFRs during emergency situations? Do you know that?
Yes. Yes.
They do
They
around
do?
me.
And then that would
TFR
be
above me.
would that company be considered critical infrastructure or no?
No, they're just a small
It's just a
chemical
company.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Wow.
there used to be a cement company there, and it went not out of business. I guess they changed locations because cement companies don't go out of business.
Yeah.
They just make more money. But look at all the barrels around this place. And that's what blew up the blue barrels. There's hundreds
That could
of
be
them,
that could be the birthplace of the Toxic Avenger.
right?
You guys remember
Stock
that movie?
footage for news.
Yep.
Great series.
Mhm.
Toxic Avenger.
Oh, you do remember that?
Oh yeah, I
What is
remember that.
The Toxic Avenger.
Okay, let me get rid of that. I caught a video and I was using a 45 millimeter lens, and the road turned red, right, Al?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it was a color shift off the ND filters you stock, or the white balance you said.
I had to put weight on the front of the camera or else the camera would just go up. So I was using ND filters and a UV filter. Now, I thought the UV filter was supposed to help you cut through the haze.
What drone was this?
The Matrice 210, but it's an X5S camera, like an Inspire 2 camera.
Okay. Do you balance the gimbal? Like,
No.
because okay, that's really important.
Yeah, I found out. So I was using the 3 ND filters to balance it out. That was my weight in the front, but it made the picture look terrible.
Did you say it was an X5S camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same camera on the Inspire. It also has weights you can put on the back of the camera that I don't use all that much.
I actually bought the DJI Balance ring. I just can't find it. I don't know where the hell I put it. Oh, it's
Another one.
Mel and Mitch. We got room here. There we go.
Hey, Mel.
Hey, everybody. Jim, Art, Al,
Hey, Mel. How you
Steve,
doing,
Ken.
Mel?
Hello,
Ken.
Hey, Mel.
Ken's out slumming. Nice
Thanks.
swing on the front porch there, buddy. Did you hear me, Ken?
Yeah,
I said-
I did. Yeah.
I said
Oh,
nice swing on the front porch there.
Thank you. Yeah, the sun's going down over the church across the street.
Uh-huh.
That's the kind of sunset I get, and it's never worth putting a drone up to take a shot of it.
Have you done it yet, Jim? You have to do it.
I
Can't
have
say it's
done.
not worth it. I haven't seen it.
It's about as exciting as my sunrises. Humidity and a sun.
The best sunrises and sunsets are right after a good thunderstorm.
Or I was going to say the clouds, those nice
Or right
clouds.
before, yep. Yep.
Yeah.
We need more morning clouds because when it comes up over the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, there's nothing but that humidity haze ahead of it. I mean, maybe in the wintertime, like November, December, it might be better. But you got to have those clouds. Now, Mitch is out on the porch. I'm going to drop out and let Mitch say hello.
Jim,
Do you have room?
Jim,
Can you bring
Jim,
him in anyway?
Jim, I'm gonna back out because I have to my online zoning meeting. So I'll be back in later.
Okay, buddy. Thank you.
Take
care,
take
Steve.
care, everybody.
Have a good meeting, Steve.
Thanks.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey, it's that old guy.
It's the old guy. Yeah, I got a beef to pick with you, Ken. I got a copyright infringement on your new videos. You're using my name, old guy, in there without,
Mine isn't a name; it's a descriptor. I think I would win in court.
Well, that fits all of us but Al.
I commented on that too, by the way, on that video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People seem to
hi,
dig
Mel. How you doing?
that. I honestly didn't know what WAP stood for until I saw what somebody said in the comments.
What, I don't know what it stands for.
I'd never seen that video. Oh, have you heard of a video by Cardi B called WAP or WAP? Or it's an acronym.
Is it whipped?
It stands for I can't say. I don't know.
White ass people.
This is X-rated. You can say, Ken.
It stands for wet ass pussy.
Oh my goodness.
Did you know
Straight to the
that?
point.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't,
No,
I didn't know that either. That was after my time, I think.
Yeah, because in the video, I watched the clean version and she's saying wet and gushy. And I was like, what's wet and gushy? I never heard anybody rap people say that, but apparently not. I was getting the clean version. I didn't know.
That's
And
funny.
it's a woman singing it?
Yes, Cardi B. I think she's an ex-porn star.
Is she
Now a
like
rapper.
with Van Halen and Led Zeppelin in that area? 'Cause I haven't heard her.
No, she's a rap artist.
Yeah.
I'm now listening to my father's rock station, classic rock.
Well, classic rock nowadays is Zeppelin and Nugent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, classic rock in our day was the Beach Boys and
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
And
What was classic rock
Frankie
in your day, Mitch? Was it
Oh my
Glenn
God.
Miller?
No, classic rock in my day was Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly and that crew.
By
See,
the
I knew
way,
there was a reason why I hang out with you guys. You guys make me feel really young.
I
well,
love
it's because
Buddy
you
Holly.
are
and who did that
48.
Johnny Be Good?
Yeah.
Chuck Berry.
Chuck
Chuck
Berry.
Berry,
That's it,
yeah.
Hey,
Name-
I opened for a band called Wanker.
I wouldn't brag
Wanker?
about that, Art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an
Hey,
English
oh.
band? Because in England, that means
No,
You know.
no, they were a local band here in Denver. They were
Oh,
kind of a punk band, but they had a huge following here in Denver. But then I opened for
Hello,
another band called Camel Toe Farm.
Now that we all get.
Do you know I was a drummer in an all lesbian band, and for about a year, and the name of the band was I didn't name it. The name of the band was Out of the Box.
Oh no.
Ingenious.
Hello, Bill.
Yeah,
It wasn't an all lesbian band, Ken, because you were in it.
But he's lesbian
No, and
too.
he's a
I was-
lesbian too.
I'm absolutely. I share their sexuality, so it was cool.
Yeah. We all relate. What is it? Not relate, but what's it called? When you relate to that, it's you.
Identify.
There you go. We identify as. That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. I
Support your
identify
local
as a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. I'm not, but I identify as one.
There you go. So, Art, congratulations, young man.
Well, thank
you
you.
actually flew an entire pack on your tiny whoop
Yep.
without crashing into anything in the house.
Really?
Hey!
Way to
I'm
go.
I'm very
That-
proud of you. I'm very proud. I feel like a proud father. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Hey, Art, can you fly it over and land it on the grand piano for us?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that.
Knock the stick so the top falls down.
There you go. Hey, who's going to spin up?
Online
Well,
or for real?
Online, I'll be there.
I'm
On,
going
well,
to-
online, I guess. I mean,
Oh,
I think
yeah, I'll be there.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Sure we are.
I'm going to Austin to help out with the presentation, and a couple of you may know that I've been having my car worked on. Hello.
Hello, Ari.
Hello, Kenny.
Hey,
How are
Ari,
you?
how you doing?
Yeah, all right.
Hello, everybody in the chat. We haven't met face to face, Ken, but you did upbraid me once in one of your comments for daring to put shade on the wholly preserved pizza that you have nailed to the wall.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's Preps Pizza. That's awesome.
That's it. Been listening to your comments as I discuss with the people in chat that your musical experiences sound interesting. We all know it's much easier to relate to lesbians than drummers.
Yeah. I think lesbians are more talented than most drummers anyway.
Yeah,
Everybody
again,
knows. drummers
not
relate.
going into that any deeper.
Drummers relate to or identify as musicians, and we all know they're not. So yeah.
Yeah. There's so many
Yeah,
drummer jokes. I can share a quick horror story with you before I skedaddle. Would you like to hear a horror story?
Oh, please do.
Okay. So, who watched Thursday Night Live this last Thursday?
I didn't
I know.
get to.
Okay. No, that's fine. My feelings aren't hurt. Anyway, so I woke up Thursday morning, had a day, then did the live show. It ended at 9 p.m. At 9 p.m., I got in my car and drove 11 hours to Maryland to get my car worked on at this specialty rotary shop. Got there at 10 a.m., dropped off my car, met up with some friends to fly FPV, still no sleep.
Yeah,
Spent the whole day flying FPV, was super, super tired, was going to just hit the sack and leave whenever I woke up. Went to the hotel, took a shower, pulled back the sheets, bed bugs.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Boy.
Yeah. I lost my mind. And I was so mad. I was yelling down the hall, bed bugs. Everybody's like, what? It was like a fire. Everybody's leaving. Bed bugs! Bed bugs! That whole floor emptied out. Anyway, I was so enraged that
Did you
I
have one of
drove.
those little black lights?
No,
No?
no,
You
I
could
just
see
pulled it
them?
back and there they were. And
Oh.
I left most of my clothes, my pillow, my suitcase, and I was tired. But then suddenly the rage woke me up, and I drove all the way home with no sleep.
Oh my God!
Another
Wow!
Jesus.
Yeah,
I probably would do the same thing.
I was up for like 50 hours or something crazy. I was in a anti-sleep coma. It was some of
Were
the
you
worst.
scratching yourself while you were
Was
driving?
it what?
Were you scratching yourself when you're driving?
Yeah, I mean, I was rolling down the window, put my head out. I didn't get that
Yeah,
sleepy.
yeah.
I was so mad. And then I just came home and I was in a dream coma for like a whole day.
Yes, you can't actually see them, especially if there's a bunch of them.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Did he use the black eye? Because normally they're hiding in the corners.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Well, yeah. I mean, I put all my whatever I was taking with me in a garbage bag, and I washed it, put it in the dryer, showered me and the dog, all this before sleeping. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
I'm not sure we even get bed bugs in Australia. Out here, most of the things that want your blood is considerably larger than you are. But you know, if I wanted blood-sucking parasites, I'd go to Washington, and that's the one thing on the bed bug side. At least they're honest about their intentions.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they tell you
Good
up
point,
front,
though.
don't they? Yep.
That's it.
But if you
Yeah.
could see them, then there's a hell of a collection of them.
Yeah, I took video. And the hotel didn't apologize, didn't even sound surprised that they had bed bugs. So I put them on the National Bed Bug Registry.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
There is a thing. You can search.
Did you get your money back?
Yeah, you can search any hotel, restaurant, anything by zip code, and it'll tell you if they've ever had a report of bed bugs there.
Wow.
So I was
How
the
the
first
hell-
one to report bed bugs to this place. It was called the Sleep Inn in Hagerstown, Maryland. Stay away.
Well,
Did you get a refund?
in Hagerstown, that should give it away right there.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get a refund yet. I'm gonna
You
have
didn't
to.
get it?
Nope, I'm gonna have to appeal to corporate. But I took video of the bed bug and I'll share it on Thursday Night Live.
Oh, wow.
Very-
They
Are
got to
you
read
sure it
that
wasn't
hotel the bed bug
was-
in. You should have had a clue when the sign said the bed bug in.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
sleep in.
That's one thing about Ken Heron. You guys can absolutely take to the bank. No matter what he does, he's gonna video it.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Period.
There's always
Period.
a camera around.
I
That's
mean-
good.
He spent 30 minutes climbing a fire lookout tower that has no steps
Yeah.
in it because they've been removed so that people wouldn't climb them. Okay. And when he gets to the top to the observation deck, what's he do? He pulls a camera out of his shirt and he starts filming. Okay.
I've been going
He
to
sticks it
minefield
out the
for a
window
while.
and he's filming my drone, filming him after he climbs the top. It's pretty funny.
That was such a great moment being up there and having like 7 drones flying around me. That was so fun. That was the
So
best.
yeah, no matter what Ken does, you can bet he's going to pull a camera out.
Were there any camera drones up there filming all the FPVs buzzing around it?
Yeah, I got some.
You did?
Yeah, and some of the footage. Well, in that video that I did where I tried to be like that guy that takes you back in the Twilight Zone,
Yeah.
Rod Sterling.
Ken liked that.
There you see a couple of FPV drones float through the scene in that. Yeah.
What did you
What a
call
fun
that?
day it was.
What did you call
Can't
that?
be honest, Bill.
Aura?
If you'd have been there, Mel, you would have buzzed Ken to see if he could go down those non-existent stairs any quicker than he came up.
When that video I did where I tried to like identify as Rod Sterling.
Yes, that's the one.
You have a good voice, Mel. You should do voiceovers.
Well, Ken, give me something to voice over, and I'll be
Okay,
glad
here you
to
go.
take
Here you
care of
go. Stay, and you even have the beard. Say, we will make no wine before it's time. Isn't that what it was, or was it?
Yeah.
We will
that what it
serve
was?
no wine.
Sell no
That's it,
wine.
sir.
before it's- Yeah.
We will serve no wine before it's
Serve-
time.
That's it.
Stay
That's the
thirsty,
stuff.
my friends.
Sounds-
Hello,
All right,
Matt.
Hello,
guys.
Michael. Hello, Michael.
Oh, hey, Matt.
We got 2 Australians to kind of balance us out here. Ari,
Tater.
you got Matt, Northeast Drone Productions on the right. Matt, that Mount Beerwa, holy Christ, that was a good video. How tall is
Beautiful.
that thing?
A beautiful spot, was it? The top of that was 500.
Meters?
So, hey,
Meters?
yeah. So as I said, I only got like halfway up there before I couldn't go anymore.
But I thought you could. I thought you could only fly 400 feet, Matt.
Yeah,
Then they made him climb it.
yeah, that's
Somebody-
right.
Somebody actually said that to him. You can
Yeah.
only. I thought you could only fly 400 feet. The mountain's right below you, you idiot.
Exactly right. Yeah. So as all contours up and everything like that, you can do that.
Yeah.
But I did have a bit of a hike that day. But yeah, no, it was good, man. It's a beautiful spot. Beautiful. I loved it.
Hey, I gotta skedaddle, but before I do, Mitch, would you take a puff of your cigar and say, "I love it when a plan comes together"? Oh, he's gone.
We got
All
2
right.
Kens. Oh, wait. I'll bring them back in.
Help if I could hear, I guess.
Say it again, Ken. We can hear you, Ken.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear.
Hey, it's another Ken.
Hey, how about that?
All right. I love it when a plan comes together.
There you go. All right. All right.
Good to
See you guys. See you,
Ken.
Ken.
Take care, buddy.
Okay.
See you,
All right,
Ken.
bye, guys. Thanks. Thanks for the invite. Bye.
Brand Aerials, how are you, buddy?
What's going on?
The gang's all here tonight. Mike Kinney.
Don't know.
What's going on, Mel?
I want
you
you know, Mike, was that the Mavic Air 2? Mike Kinney had problems getting the thing to focus. Did you see? Mike Kinney put up a video of he drove 4 hours to go out to the ocean, and it wasn't focusing for
Oh,
him.
no.
So I told him tap the focus. I don't know any better. I don't know the Mavic 2. What do you guys think?
Well, you ought to be able to tap the screen and it should
Be able
focus.
to- yeah, you can tap the focus.
Yeah.
Or you can push the little red button on the controller should do it. I mean, not the red button. One of the buttons does it.
It's a different app on that one, so I don't know if it's the same as the Go 4, but yeah, tap the
okay.
screen normally.
I never had problems with it focusing though. It's weird.
Oh, you got the Air 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do just
Matt,
tap the screen?
Matt, let me give you just a little bit of history on original Dobo and the Mavic Air 2. Okay. I know for a fact he's had at least 3 because in the first 2 weeks he crashed the first 2 that he had.
Holy moly.
So I know he's on number 3 at least. So yeah, he is very familiar with the
I'm,
Mavic
I'm,
Air 2.
I'm holding steady at number 3.
Mel, in Ken's defense, they should have known he was going to fly there and not put a building where he was going to fly.
Exactly.
They should
Why
have
would they put a building
right.
there? Who puts a building right where you're going to fly?
If we use that analogy, though, all right, then we have to go with fences and trees. I think
Trees.
I know fences and backstops.
Humans.
The problem with this is
Hey Ken,
Yeah.
I think you're using your camera mic. To be honest, I
Are you
don't
using my
think,
camera mic?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's take a look. It's possibly so. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, good pickup
it
there.
could have just been
Al.
quieter to us because we're further
Or,
away, man.
I mean, Matt.
Long way. Did you call me Al?
Is it any better? Yeah, there it goes. Better now. Yeah, some reason I don't ever use Google Chrome when I use StreamYards, because when I use my graphics, when I use my integrated capture card, Chrome won't see the capture card, so I have no choice but to use Firefox. It's the weirdest darn thing.
Oh, I use Firefox too.
I'm gonna start using it more because Chrome's got all these goofy issues with every time I'm trying to stream, especially with StreamYards. I don't understand it.
It just has an issue with StreamYards for me, so I use Firefox, and then I can feed vMix into that, and no problem.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna start using that because I use when I'm just jumping on like streams, like popping in. I'll use this webcam, and then I'll use the actual camera when I want to set it up for everything else.
Yeah.
But,
Ken, how you doing, buddy?
doing good, brother. How you been, Mitch?
All right. Just coming in the house here. Finished the cigar.
You any flying in this week, man? Is rain a lot by you?
No, actually, I've been out almost every morning flying. It's been great.
Oh, nice, man. I should do that in the mornings. I should fly in the mornings. A lot less hot out in the morning.
Oh yeah. By 9:30, 10 o'clock, it gets too hot. So.
Yeah, it was miserable the other day. I was trying to get a couple of packs in. It was too hot.
It is oppressive.
I got out there today and actually got what I get, Matt, three sets of batteries in with that 45 millimeter. What we were talking about earlier, Ken, is
Right.
when I used ND filters to balance out the 45 millimeter lens on the X5S, it turned the pictures a tint of red.
Really? Who's the manufacturer of the lens?
K&F Concept.
Were you using that's who makes the lens?
K&F, yeah.
Really? Yeah. So their ND filters, I stopped using their ND filters because what would happen is I would use their filters and they would turn my footage like a green, almost like you would see like this hunter green tint to the footage.
Wow.
I think they just use cheap glass, to be honest.
Yeah. See, I thought maybe they were plastic, so I went back and looked, but no, they were glass.
I picked this up and I use this. This is a 14 millimeter I used on a shoot yesterday. And I knew it was a Samyang lens or a Rokinon lens because Rokinon has like a sort of a magenta. I always notice like there's just like the magenta comes out, like where Sony lenses favor like the yellows more, these favor magenta. So it's just like weird how manufacturers, like certain manufacturers, their glass will shift images. It's so weird. But yeah, K&F, I stopped using them altogether. Try Viltrox or something. Viltrox makes some good lenses.
Well, that's what happened to me. The interstate highway, instead of black, started looking magenta, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
That's that footage
What were you shooting on? You were shooting on that 210?
Yeah. It was the X5S though.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. Yeah, I don't know. For that camera, they because that's micro four thirds. They recommend Zuku lenses, which is like basically the hell's that manufacturer? They're no longer making Olympus lenses.
Yeah.
Olympus lenses are really good. Obviously, Panasonic lenses are pretty good.
Olympus got bought out by some Japan company.
Who's that?
Olympus. They got bought out by a Japanese company.
Yeah, they're not making lenses. You can get their lenses pretty cheap. Laowa makes good lenses. I had a couple of theirs.
Yeah.
Did you ever try that or know anybody that's tried their 7.5 lens?
I had the 9mm version of that for APS-C, which is basically the same thing. It's the same thing. That lens was stupid sharp, man. Stupid sharp.
Their 25mm, the Olympus 25mm is sharp as hell.
Yeah, but I think the Venus Optics, like the Laowa lenses, are really, really sharp. That 7.5mm will give you a good width because with micro four thirds, I forgot what that's equivalent. I think it's like 14mm or something equivalent. Yeah. So that's pretty good. And they're rectilinear.
Close,
which means that your straight lines will always be straight. They're not going to be like bowed, which is a problem.
Yeah.
You know, you got a ProRes license for that or no?
No, but there's a lens distortion for the Phantom 3 Pro that I use for the X5S, even though I don't need it, but it does help steady out the picture because I was getting micro, what do you call those again, Al?
Micro jitters?
Micro jitters when I took the ND filters off. I forgot.
Yeah. It was microaggression.
You know what's so funny is like certain cameras, it's better without an ND filter because it strives off of the faster shutter speeds.
Yeah.
Like with my GoPros, when I use real steady, it likes faster shutter speeds, which is weird. Like you wants your shutter speed like as fast as it can go. Same with the Osmo. It doesn't like 180 for some reason.
I've still got the Osmo Pro, and I had a guy turn me down for the job because he says, "What are you using for the ground?" Because he wanted ground and aerial. So I told him what I was using for the aerial. That was fine. And when I told him I was using an Osmo Pro for the ground, he didn't want it.
Really?
That's crazy.
It's the X5. It's the X5 lens on a Osmo stick.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. What's funny is like they're okay with it for aerials, but like they're not okay for ground. I've seen like some beautiful work out of the Osmo Pros.
Somebody told them all that they have to have 20 megapixels.
For what?
It's in every damn drone IO bid.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Everything's got to be 20 megapixels. Somebody let that out in the industry.
Well, you can thank people like Precision Hawk and FPNL and PG&E, because when I was out there flying for PG&E under Precision Hawk, we had to use 20 megapixel cameras for those structure inspections. They wouldn't take any less
for TMD. Yeah,
because they were blowing them up so much, you know.
Right.
And most people don't realize that
you can do
unless you're gonna almost go to the pixel level, a 12 or 16 megapixel camera is just as good of an image as a 20, or 22. It's crazy.
But you can also, with the X5 and X5S, you can shoot in DCI, which is 40 by whatever, without using a ProRes license, which will get you the actual 5K. It's 52 by, what is it, Ken?
I forgot the diameter of the resolution, but it's it's funny though. YouTube, like all these cameras that shoot 6K, you got to downsample it to 5K.
You can do it on YouTube.
Yeah, because YouTube doesn't recognize 6K, but it recognizes 5K. Makes no sense.
Ken, did you find out the specs on the HR10 bit on the Evo 2? By any chance?
No, I did do it, and it's funny enough. It's 420. It's 420. It is 10-bit, but only in 6K. Makes
Jim,
go
ahead.
Yeah.
Is Ari still in the green room?
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop me and put him in for a minute.
Go have a smoke. All right.
Yeah.
So it's 420. Which I mean that's still 10-bit. That's still okay.
Yep.
But only 6K, which makes no freaking sense. I actually used some guy that calls me online. This guy Chris, he turned around and gave me like 6 Mavic 6 Mavic 2 Pro batteries yesterday, and they like have 2 cycles a piece on them.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit. Now I'm like set for batteries. So I'm like, man, maybe I should just use this again, since batteries aren't going to be a concern for a little bit.
I'm curious, when's the last time you flew the Evo 2?
Evo 2 was last week.
Last week. Did you upgrade the phone?
I take that back. I put it up in the air because I was playing with the 6K, just trying to I was standing outside with a color card, trying to work on the colors, trying to isolate the colors, trying to fix it and try to dial those in. So
I only asked him because I had the 2.5 firmware. I don't mean to jump off subject, but since he's here, I wanted to ask him. And I was able to downgrade to 2.3.3, which flies so much better than 2.5. I was just having issues with 2.5, wondering if you were having issues if you upgraded.
There's enough of complaints that Altel said they were working on a firmware update. They're also working on moving a lot of their development over here. I heard talking to a couple of the guys over there. So there's like this whole Made in America initiative that they have going on right now, which is, a byproduct of everything else that's happening.
I wish they'd do something commercial. I mean, consumer.
Well, they will, but look at them specifically. Like just sort of like Skydio, it seems like all the American companies have a one glaring problem. And what is that problem? Logistics. They don't know how to handle the demand for the supply. Yeah. Right. So like they have that problem, and that's the easy part. Like when you buy something in China, because like manufacturing plants are a dime a dozen, so they're able to supply, and that's why there are so many manufacturing jobs over there.
That Shenzhen district is one huge incubator, and why can't we do that? We did Silicon Valley.
Well, I think what we would need to do is to do something like that, and then they would have to have like special appropriations for that district, right?
Yep.
So where certain taxes, like if you want companies to manufacture here, well, they're going to need incentive and pricing incentives to do so. And I think you would have to make the district large enough, not only to encompass the factories, but to encompass housing for these employees.
Yes.
Because one of those appropriations would be, you're going to want to pay people, but you're not going to want to pay them too much to where, you get what I'm saying. So
like
you would have to make it
campus. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to make it a campus, have to house them and stuff. I mean, there's definitely enough of people that I think would be on board with that. I don't know why they haven't. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that hard to figure out. Like, it really doesn't. So,
and since did you guys know this, that President Trump made it a presidential declaration that drones are critical to our manufacturing sector? There's an executive order.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard that, but it's not surprising, considering like everything is moving towards the air. It's like it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because as things move towards the airspace, sort of like for the hobbyist guys, they're going to be sort of like, shit, because things are going to get more restrictive inevitably, which sort of sucks.
I got to figure a way to control these damn bookmarks. I've got 8 million bookmarks in Chrome.
Bookmarking shit. That's how you stop. That's how you control it. Quit bookmarking shit.
Ever since drones came out, I've been going nuts between software and trying to get everything done with open source, which I pretty much have. I do my own open source programmetry and 3D mapping and all that.
What software are you using, Jim?
QGIS. Screw you, Pixhawk, or what's that other one?
Is that a yearly subscription, monthly?
No, it's called Learn. Takes a lot of time to learn, and you got to download Python and Blender and all those.
He's being a skadoosh.
Jim is constantly asking kids in his area for help.
Yeah, to help computer, right?
That's right, mate. Like me. So it's the first thing I do when I have trouble with technical stuff. Why else do you think I have foster kids?
Do you want to put Maps Made Easy, Raptor Maps, Pix 4D? What's the one with the D's?
Drone Deploy.
These guys want thousands of dollars for their little app. Yep. I said, screw that. I'll take the time and actually learn how to use QGIS.
Whatever happened with DJI Terra? Did they ever do anything more with that or no?
Nope.
I didn't think they would.
The models were crippling, Ken. When you had a look at what you had to pay to get anything usable, even at the early stages, it was, you might as well go and use Drone Deploy, which is fully established.
But just like their Flight Hub, Ken. No one's going to pay to use Flight Hub.
Jim, I have a question for you. Don't get insulted by it, because I want to know. You're having a hard time processing 4K video. Yeah. How are you processing maps on your computer?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because you're also downloading a virtual box. You got a virtual machine.
Is it using like an Oracle, or was it the Oracle virtual VM? That's what I thought, because I have software like that for work that it uses like a VM, so you're not actually using like raw processing of the computer.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Jim,
I don't mean...
build a computer, Jim, man. Like, just, you know, source the parts, man. Build yourself a computer that you can sort of grow with.
I need to, man. I really do.
You get the parts, I'll help you build it, man.
And now they just came out with the 3000 series for NVIDIA.
Yeah, but the problem with like graphics cards is like you can have bottlenecks. Like if your processor is not good enough, then it bottlenecks your graphics card. So it's like sort of like a catch-22 at times. Like I feel like sometimes I get a bottleneck in my GPU because my processor can't keep up with the GPU. So it's sort of like, I don't know. I don't think programs are really graphics intensive enough. Now, if you're doing like After Effects or something like that, then yes. If you're,
every time
using something like that.
Every time I go and render, especially H265 or 10-bit, period, it uses the damn CPU instead of the GPU.
That's
check your settings.
What program you use? DaVinci?
No, I'm still using Power Director 18.
Okay, well that's probably why. Like Premiere's gotten better about using the GPU, and so has like DaVinci's really good about using the GPU.
Now, if you just do regular MP4, it'll encode it with the.
The MP4 is just your container. That's what houses the information. That's what it's going to play as. So that's the player, but the codec is whether it's H.265, ProRes, whatever.
Right.
That's how compressed it is. Think of footage like a zip file almost.
And so they were telling me that MOV is less compressed than MP4.
It is less compressed than MP4, but MOV is a QuickTime format. Technically, that's from Apple.
Yep.
You can use that. I use MOV. Funny enough, when I film like with the Evo, I'll put it in MOV because it doesn't give me as hard of a time when I'm rendering in Final Cut Pro, or not Final Cut Pro. I'm sorry, Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro.
Just quickly, for anybody. For you and for anybody who's looking at it, the new 3000 series cards, the Ampere, absolutely no advantage at all for anybody who's using them for video processing. AMD are fighting a lot of figures out there, 2 times, 3 times faster than the previous generation, which is true, but only for ray tracing applications. So
right.
If you're a gamer, yeah, sure. But the 3080, the new 3080, has precisely the same amount of CUDA cores as the previous generation, and only about, I think, a 1.8% increase in clock speed. So for all of us here, for our purposes, I don't think we'd see any difference. And looking at the second-hand market at the moment, 2 weeks ago, a 2080 titanium was going second-hand for $1,500, and I can find 3 this week for around $700. So there'd be some good buys out there for people wanting to build
If AMD would get their shit together, they would make some pretty good, like, you know, work related cards. They just can't get their drivers right. They have too many problems with crashing.
That's what drives me utterly crazy with them.
I can't use AMD cards because like there's too many times where you'll just get a blue screen of death or the computer freezes up. You know, just acts really goofy. I got a 2080 and it doesn't do much better than the 2070 or the 2060. I noticed no impact, you know, as far as performance. It's negligible across the board as far as exports go, in my opinion.
I was talking to Brian BMAC Aerials about that because he built his own with a 2070. And when I looked up all the specs, it's exactly like you're saying. For 4K video editing, there's no reason to buy a 2080 Super TI or whatever.
No,
because you can overclock a lot of these cars.
Simulator. If you're going to fly to Microsoft Flight Simulator, then you'll gain.
Well, yeah. So again, back to if you're gaming, then it's a bit of a win, especially depending on what resolution monitor and how many pixels you're pushing. But for somebody who's looking at it from a perspective, I want to get a good export. I want to, you know, not have to struggle scrubbing through my timeline. Then, you know, it's like across the board. Like I see 2060 to even 2080. I'm like, man, why did I do this? I could have saved a shit ton of money by not buying a 2080 and put that money elsewhere. because it didn't serve up. Like processor is where it's at, honestly. Still, processor and RAM, especially with Ryzen.
I'm using 32 of RAM, and I don't have any problem in that area.
So, but it's about like the speed. Like I used to think like, okay, I can use RAM. 32 gigs of RAM is 32 gigs of RAM, but how fast is it?
Like
the megahertz.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
AMD
2600. Say what, Ari?
With AMD bandwidth is life. I'm using 128 gigs of 3600 DDR4 3600.
3600 is a good sweet spot. Anything faster, it's again you're running into that spot where it's like it's not gonna take advantage of it. 3600 is good. 32 you can get away. 3200 you can get away with if you overclock it. You can overclock it pretty good actually.
Take care, Chris.
Good night, Chris.
Yeah, and AMD,
night,
I've
Chris.
had the same experience as you can. I've been building gaming rigs for 20 odd years, and 95 people out of 100 can run an AMD card. But if you're one of those other 5 people, God help you. NVIDIA developed their own drivers, as you said. AMD farm it out to a third party, and it never works.
No, it definitely never does. Which sort of sucks.
All right, guys, I've got to shoot through. I'm away in less than 24 hours for the Barrier Reef, packing and charging and everything. Thanks for having me in, Jin, and catching up with you guys.
Enjoy that trip.
Pleasure meeting you, man.
I will. Good chatting with you face to face, Ken. I often comment on your videos, and unlike a previous celebrity who was in here, you've never taken me to task for making fun of your pizza. All right, guys, you take it easy, and everybody,
thanks.
take care. I'll see you in a little over a week when I get back, provided I don't get eaten by something because it is Australia. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
See you, Ari.
Mel, you going out to Colorado, Mel?
That's the plan at the moment.
Okay.
Cool.
In fact, I'm scratch building a set of floats for the Foamy, the plane you saw in Tennessee.
You're gonna land it on the water?
I'm gonna fly, take off, and land off the water if I can.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
If I can get the floats done for it.
Okay.
Press record, Mel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
want
10,000 foot, Mel. You'll be at 10,000 feet. The performance is
You'd
going to
have
be interesting.
DVR for sure going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Screen record,
Exactly.
the whole deal, dude.
I'm thinking about putting a 4S battery in it instead of the 3S.
I
You
would
might-
think
would.
so.
It would help. Yeah,
I would.
Would help.
The only
Gonna
thing
need
is
some balls.
the battery will weigh more than the airplane at that
I
point.
think I'm gonna probably bring I'm gonna bring the Mavic Air 2, and then I'm just gonna bring like 3 quads with me.
Cool.
You should have heard Ken, Mitch, when I flew that plane over there in Brownsville at Minefield.
Yeah.
I took off, and I was afraid that I was going to run out of asphalt because I was taking off like across the driveway.
Oh, that
I
was
saw that.
So I made
saw
a
that
hard
takeoff.
left
Yeah.
turn so that I'd have a little more space and a little more clearance from the wires. And Ken was like, "Okay, here we go." Oh, holy shit! Here we go.
I thought you were gonna slam in those wires, man. I really truly thought we were gonna hit those wires.
Well, that's why I changed direction at the last minute
Yeah,
because
you changed
direction. Have more. Why is
I saw
Margie
that.
keep spamming the YouTube play button? What's up with that?
Because Margie's our girl, man. She's our
Yeah.
resident, our only woman ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Philippines.
Hey,
I don't know about that. There's
Ken,
been a few girls here.
What's that,
Ken
bud?
you got a request from Tomas. He says, ask you about your editing software, the Moav.
Movavi?
Yeah. Is part 2 coming soon?
I don't know if it's gonna be soon, just because I have been just slammed with a bunch of quad reviews that these companies are beating me up about. We'll put it that way. So probably gonna be a couple of weeks, probably after spin up or maybe before, because I'm going to Austin this weekend. So it'll probably be just after that. I'll probably get that second part done.
Now, are you also going to spin down?
Yeah, I'm going both. So I'm going to Colorado and then I'm going to Texas. So Texas this weekend and then Colorado a week after or something like that. I guess.
Is it easier
2 weeks
for you?
after.
Is it easier for you to fly than it is for me and Mitch?
I don't
Because-
know, man.
We got to go to Denver via Orlando, and then I'll see if I go out of Melbourne.
So I'm
It
flying
goes to Orlando, which goes
so
to Denver.
weird. I'm flying out of for Austin, it was weird. I got a plane ticket for like $118 on Spirit. I'm flying out of Orlando. I hate flying out of Orlando.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the neck.
I don't blame you.
So I got to drive to Orlando on Friday, fly out of there. That's the first time I've ever flew out of that airport to go to Austin. Usually I fly out of Tampa, Southwest. Couldn't find any ticket. For Colorado, I found a ticket from Tampa to Colorado on United for $109. And I'm like, that was round trip. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
That was round trip?
Yeah, round trip, $109.
Holy cow.
Holy shit.
So-
I looked, it was 700.
Wow.
Dude, I have no idea how. I did it on Expedia. I guess I should probably definitely make sure that is round trip though.
Do you know
that-
coming home from
that would
CES? It took me 2 days to get home from CES.
Really?
Oh man, Atlanta was such a screw up.
You're over in Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
So like for me, like I flew into Tampa. I mean, and that was a direct flight. So I fly Spirit. I fly Frontier when I go out there because I don't care. Because I'm like, I'm either gonna get incredibly wasted before I get on the plane, or during the flight, about 2 hours in going to Vegas, I'm already wrecked before I get off the plane. So I'm passed out anyways.
That's a strange airport, Vegas.
It is a really strange airport. So yeah, that was round trip to Denver, Tampa to Denver.
Damn.
I
Jimmy,
fly
going
out.
spin down?
Yeah, spin down. I fly out Friday at 4:36, and then I get to Denver at 6, and then Denver to Tampa I fly out at 2:10. So I'll be in Denver for a little bit, I think.
So you can't fly out of Tampa St. Pete? You got to come to Orlando?
No, Tampa St. Pete doesn't go anywhere. Tampa St. Pete's so tiny. The only time I've ever flown out of Pie was when I go to Biloxi,
Mississippi.
Yeah,
Hello,
go play
Curtis.
poker or something. You hop on a plane, and it's like
Roosevelt.
they basically a casino will pay you to fly the plane.
It's like flying out of Melbourne. You know, you're lucky if you
Yeah.
get a flight out of Melbourne, Jim. Most of the time, you
Yeah.
got to go to Orlando to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
Well, I guess you guys could probably go down to like Palm Beach, or not Palm Beach, West Palm.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, but that's a long drive. Orlando's only like 45 minutes from
True.
us.
What
I mean, if you're
about
gonna
up
go
to
Orlando, you might as well
Jayville?
just go to freaking Tampa at that point if you're going
No.
to save a couple of bucks.
Florida's like a 9-hour state to drive.
We used to live in Melbourne for a while, and I used to drive from Tampa to Melbourne like every weekend. Because I worked in Tampa during the
What
week.
route did you take?
I
State
took
Road 60?
I-4 to John Young Parkway to 192 straight across.
50.
Yeah.
State Road 50, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
192.
50's north. No,
192 is a
192.
good cutoff, and now they've made it 4-lane. So I used to drive that when it was a 2-lane road.
What's that?
Now
192.
you might just have to pull the plug.
Yeah, but that 192, when you get near Disney and you get into Kissimmee and St. Cloud, boy, you're
Yeah.
talking
No,
that's
but
hours of
Okay,
traffic
no,
usually.
that's why you get off at John Young Parkway, because
Who
you're
did they lose?
out of that traffic.
Well, the way we normally go, I go to Tampa quite often because my daughter's there, and I end up going the highways. I'll go north to the beach line, take the beach line to 417 around Orlando, and pick up
the long
I-4
way,
that
man.
way. It's long, but it saves me an hour's worth of driving. I
Yeah,
tried
but
it
the
both
problem
ways.
is if you hit the traffic, then it's all negated.
Yeah, well, the good news is I go when there's no traffic, and this time now with the tourists not here because of COVID, there's you don't get that kind
True.
of traffic now.
Yeah, you do have a lot less traffic now with COVID, which I mean that's one byproduct, one positive thing that's happened.
Yeah.
I can stand going through Orlando now. I used to get the worst road rage going through Orlando, just because it was just so bad.
I-4. I hate I-4.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
you pick up the 417, because you get if you're coming from Tampa, you catch the 417
The Greenway.
before you get to the Orlando traffic. You're off, and then you're heading around south of the airport, and then you come up around on the east side and pick up the beach line straight across, and that's the way to go.
I used to do that every morning at 3:30 in the morning to be off of John Young Parkway. I worked for Rural Metro Ambulance in Orlando.
Okay.
Wow.
We had a warehouse up at
3:30
John Young.
At 3:30 in the morning, you just throw a brick on the gas pedal from here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're right there in no time.
Now, Mitch and Jim, would it be worth the extra drive to go up to Jayville and fly out of there?
Hell no.
No.
Oh,
that's,
no.
That's
No.
way
No.
far. That's like 4 hours,
Yeah.
5 hours.
Well,
Not
I know,
only
but
that,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's a
that
lot.
airport,
Now,
that airport
Orlando-
is a mess.
Orlando's 45 minutes from us to the airport. That's
well,
that's no
yeah,
big
but I
deal.
mean, with all the hassle at the airport, would it be easier?
it's not that big. It's not that big a deal.
Are you guys pre-check?
I
Yeah.
don't fly much. I don't
I
fly
like-
much anymore. So I
I
don't
like
have that.
Melbourne because it's so easy to park your car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And it's
right
so
here.
small that it was only, I think, $40 for 4 or 5 days, whatever it was that we stayed there.
Yeah, Melbourne's like 7 minutes from my house.
And you go to Orlando, you got to take a bus to get back from your car, wherever.
Oh
the
yeah,
hell
it's a
you put it.
Well,
pain in the-
see, I've
it's a
been
pain.
I've been parking directly in the terminals. Yeah, you pay like 17, 18 bucks a day, but like
Yeah.
for me, like the price is worth the convenience to aggravation of having to wait for a bus, and it's just one more thing I have to do. I'm
Yeah.
pre-checked, so like I'll get there like an hour before. Sometimes I cut it really close. It's like 30 minutes before I'm set to board, but this time I'm going to go a little bit before because I haven't flown with
As
any
long as you-
FPV stuff yet.
As long as you print out those boarding passes, you're a walkthrough.
Well, yeah. With now, I just scan my phone lately, and they're good to go. I'll still have one in my bag just as a backup, but I'll load it on my Apple Watch. I'll load it on my phone, scan and go. The one time I flew out of Orlando, even though I was pre-check, they still made me pull everything out of the bag. I was so pissed. I'm like, what the freak's the point of
Really?
being pre-check if you're gonna pull stuff out of my freaking bag? I was livid. So that was the last time I flew out of Orlando. So this time, hopefully that doesn't happen.
I think Dan's heavily medicated.
I think Dan, I think is coming off the morphine or whatever.
Yeah.
Hi, Dan. I hope everything went well for you today, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Traffic is better in Florida because the Canadians are home, but the New Yorkers
Yeah.
keep coming here.
Al,
Yeah.
you mistyped that. It says Dan, are you still? It should say Dan, you are still.
Mm.
So anyway, that's a crazy price, $100. Holy crap!
Yeah, that's why.
Well,
Like
they
at
gotta
first,
get
I wasn't
people
gonna
to
go. I wasn't gonna go, but Lon Denard's like, "Oh, you gotta go. You know, bunk with me." And I'm like, "All right, well, I'm not gonna miss this opportunity to like shave his eyebrows." So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, and then
Permanent marker.
yeah, it's like I've never been. I wanted to go to the mountains really bad, so I'm just like,
Well,
you know
you'll
what?
enjoy
You
it.
know,
You'll enjoy
That's
it.
the thing that was stupid in Vegas. I mean, if I had known all of us were going, so many people that did go. I mean, when I got there, I met up with Lauren, who's in the chat. He had a shitty time getting back too.
Oh man, that sucks.
They went up to Canada. Him and
Oh,
Matt.
okay.
Jesus.
But
Then you had Idaho
we should have
Quadcopter
shared
was there.
rooms. I paid
Yeah.
$800 for a room,
Yeah.
and I was
So
never
we,
there.
Shit.
I stayed at where was I at? Treasure Island, because Zach had comps at Treasure Island. It's like his timeshare, very expensive timeshare.
Yeah.
So he had comps there, but I also didn't realize he has a breathing machine like for when he slees.
Oh, a CPAP.
It's called
Yeah. So that's fun. So you basically stay up all night, gamble.
Yeah, listening to him. Yeah.
So I discovered edibles during Vegas, and I was able to sleep.
Really? They work?
There's
Yeah.
a lot you can do there to tire you out.
Yeah. Believe it or not,
I gotta try that.
I passed out very quickly.
Ever since I was in the Army, I made a rule for myself that I do not room with anybody. When I travel, I have to have a room by myself.
No, I'm
more of a
never
people
there.
person, though. Exactly. I'd be out exploring or flying. Like we went flying a couple of times. Went out to the mountains, which was cool. That's what I kept wanting to do, is go off strip, go out towards like Red Rock and fly.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
supposed to
gorgeous
go.
out there. I used to love
Now,
that.
man,
Used
So nice
to go
out
out to
there.
Vegas every year for the Comdex when I was in the computer business, and every
Yeah.
year, twice, 2 trips to Vegas, one for Networld, one for Comdex. And the greatest part of the trip for me was just getting in a rental car, taking a day off, and going out and driving out into
Getting
the desert
lost,
and
yeah.
Red
No
Rock
cell service
Canyon.
out there.
No, this was before cell phones, back when I was in the computer business. But it
That's
was
where you had to crank the phone.
Crank
yeah,
the phone.
yeah. That was
They
the
still
best
had
part of
party
the trip.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best part of the trip, though, was exploring the desert, heading out to the desert.
Yeah, I want to take just like a weekend, like a long weekend, since they're not doing CES this year. Just go out there like maybe before December. Tickets will still be cheap, I guess, because if there's no CES, tickets are going to be cheap because they're going to be hurting for money because usually that's like their peak season.
And those rooms too, man. Those rooms are normally only 50.
They're giving them away, man.
Yeah.
They're just giving them away. I gotta go to Vegas, even if I fly in on a Friday night and leave Sunday like stupid late. Take the red eye back. I'll do it. I like taking the red eye.
Yeah, even the prices there are getting expensive. I spent 5 days over the summer last year in Vegas, and they said because the Raiders are coming in, the price for everything is jacking up in cost.
Yeah,
Like
but
hotels and stuff like
I think
that.
now, since COVID, like it's really like nobody wants to sit there and gamble with the mask. You can only have like, I heard 3 people per like table. At the craps table, you can only have like 5 people or something like that. Like you gotta have.
Boy, they got to.
And they got the glass partitions too, don't they?
Yeah, and they got the glass partitions, so
That's crazy. That's nuts.
they've taken an absolute beating themselves. So I think it's going to be the perfect time to go. I'll never actually gamble. I'll just go out to the canyons and screw around out in the mountains all day long.
You know, I did that when I was stationed out in Yuma, Arizona. I had a motorcycle, and I used to take a loaf of bread and a bag of hot dogs. And if you've ever been to like El Cajon, that area, well, in the 80s, that area was empty and it had old gold mines in it. So I'd actually camp out there and just cook hot dogs on a damn stick with a piece of bread.
Yep.
And just ride around on the motorcycle out there in the desert.
Yep.
I'll tell you,
We
great
got
place
gambling
to-
here in Colorado too.
It would be great if you could fly the Hoover Dam. Boy, that would be.
Oh, that'd be
Can
awesome.
you imagine the diving? Can you imagine diving the Hoover Dam?
Diving things are a little harder than I thought they would be. Like trying to get close enough to a building or something to actually dive it is harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Kenny did a great job on that video you posted last night with the 2 different shots from the air.
Oh yeah.
And,
I wanted to see if they would match up. I think the colors match pretty darn good.
Great.
That's not a bad flight. 276 right there, Jim.
Brian says 1 out of 3 Floridians
I can
are
drive
on
cheaper
Jim's
than
stream.
that.
Mel's. That's Mel's.
Brian's such an asshole. I can't wait to see Brian in 2 weeks.
Look at this one, the second one. Depart Fort Smith, 2-hour layover in DFW, Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
A 4-hour layover in LA.
I'll take DFW first though.
Back to Denver. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, you
And you're
wouldn't
on
see
the
me
plane with your
taking no
mask too,
time in
right?
LAX. See, here's the other thing you have to do. Like the reason why I didn't want to do a connecting flight, because let's say you get to your connection and all of us. Well, I don't know if they're going to take your temperature again, but if they had to take your temperature,
Oh yeah.
you know, like let's say you had anxiety on the flight and your temperature changed, now you're screwed.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that would suck.
If I wanted to smoke, I had to
usually
go through the
hat.
whole thing again.
The whole ride there, I'm not going to wear my hat because I don't want to like do anything to increase my temperature. I'm like,
That's why I think, if I go, it'll be a drive because nobody's going to take my temperature and I can smoke if I want to.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the problem. And then obviously you got to sit there and you got to wear a mask on the plane, which, I mean, I don't
You
know.
gotta wear a mask on the plane?
Yeah, you
Yep.
got to wear a mask on the plane.
Yep, they provide them
Holy
for you.
Christ.
They'll give you a mask. I don't know if you can wear your own mask. Maybe they'll let you wear your own mask. I'm going to wear a cloth one just because it's comfortable. So
I'm
maybe this will be the
assuming,
first time I don't get sick flying.
I'm assuming nobody's sitting next to you too. So it's
No, and
probably
that's the other thing.
other
The
seat every 2 seats.
middle seats are
Yeah.
empty, I heard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now that I got middle seat going to Vegas and coming back.
That
man.
sucks.
Oh, you.
Dude,
Go
I
up the-
got lucky going to Vegas. Nobody was sitting next to me going to Vegas. Coming back, I had the whole aisle to myself. The previous year, or no, was it commercial UAV? I got sandwiched in between 2 hipsters, and I had to go to the bathroom so freaking bad. And this lady would not get up. I literally just jumped over her. I was like, screw this shit.
Yeah, but you're tall and long-legged. You can handle that,
Yeah, but there was no room, man. Your knees are hitting the seat in front
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Always,
have that
when you
problem.
fly, always try to request an emergency exit aisle.
So what I found with Spirit, I sit
couldn't
way in
be-
the back. I sit in the back. I sit like aisle 30 because in Spirit, nobody wants to sit back there, and they kill off like the 2 seats behind is for the crew. So nobody's ever back there. So I just sit back there.
The emergency exit, you might be responsible for operating the emergency door if need be, but there's like 4 feet of leg room.
True.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always try to get the emergency exit seats. Always.
I was flying economy, so I didn't get to pick a damn thing, and both flights were jammed full, not
Yeah.
an empty seat. And I hate people. First of all, I hate flying because as soon as the plane hits the ground, people are standing up in the
Yeah.
aisle.
That's the hottest time too.
Why?
That's why I get aisle 30. Just I let all that shit show go. I'll sit there and listen to music. That's the worst time to stand. I don't even want to move when the plane lands because the air conditioning starts like slowing down. The plane gets hotter. I'm like, sit down. And it's always like some fat guy with his stomach's half up my face, and I'm like, dude, sit down, you jackass.
I don't know why they do it.
Yeah,
Kills
and you're
me.
like you're going to get to the gate faster.
No, it's like that's
And then you stand there for an hour, wait for your luggage anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, it's terrible. I rather just wait.
Is that mine?
Exactly, Matt. Exactly.
I'll just wait.
And they're jamming the overheads these days, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but a
nobody
couple of times-
nobody wants to check their baggage.
Well,
It's
a couple of times
pain.
they were like, like when I flew like Southwest or United previous, they're like, oh, we'll check your bag at the gate. So now I'm gonna be like, oh, you can't check my bag. I've got lipos in there. Because I don't like to let that out of my sight because I don't want to lose luggage. So I always carry on if I can.
Hey,
not
Jim,
let-
I gotta get going. Gotta get up early.
Yeah,
to
I
go.
gotta get juking too. I gotta get this video exported.
All right, guys. Good to see
So,
you both. Art,
take care,
keep flying,
Jim.
my friend. Keep flying. Every day. Every day you got to do it.
I'm doing 4 packs a day.
No, not you. I'm talking about Art. Art's an up and coming FPV pilot now.
Okay.
All right, Art, say goodbye.
4
All
packs
right,
a day.
All right.
Goodbye,
Good night,
everybody.
Ken. Good night,
Al,
Art.
Mitch, Mel,
Here, Ken.
Ken, Jim, everybody in the chat. Catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Roosevelt, we'll have to talk about the trip to Colorado. Maybe I'll carpool with you if you're going to.
Yeah, if carpool, just get your ass there. I can just get there. It's gonna be a freaking good time, man.
I'm sure it is, and I'm planning on. See, my plan was to get the room for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So my plan was to leave here Thursday, drive partway, finish off the drive on Friday morning, and then be there for Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday, and then leave out Monday morning to be back here on Tuesday.
You guys ain't gonna run any issues over there with a large group of people and gathering and all that stuff?
From my understanding, the rules are, and the rules are ever changing, of course, is that it was set at 50, but last time Sean checked, they were starting to ease up restrictions because he said that weddings were starting to happen again and stuff. So I think, by the time it's all said and done, we should be fine. We should be fine. I think
He's
it'll
not
be.
selling any more tickets, is he?
No,
No.
he
50 is
capped it out
always-
he capped it out at 50, and then I gave my first ticket because I wasn't gonna go, and then I said, you know what, fuck it, I'll go. And he's like, "We gave your ticket away." I said, "So if I fly there, you can tell me I can't go?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "All right, well then I'm gonna go."
I have a funny feeling that a lot of guys who booked it are probably not
Right,
gonna
and
show up.
that's what I was saying is that a lot of people that probably paid, because again, think about it, you're going to go to the airport, who can't board the plane because they don't want to wear a mask, or who can't board the plane because they have a fever or something like that, or something comes up. 2 weeks time, a lot of things could happen. So
and it's all a bunch of crap too. But anyway,
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
right, of course, but still, like, that shit's going to happen. So
Originally, I was going to drive out. I originally had thought that I might just take a road trip, and it's a long drive, but just go out exploring.
yeah, I had the same thought process as well, Mitch. But then after driving to Tennessee with the family, I was like, you know what? we're not good in the car together.
Yeah, but by yourself it'd be okay.
We're not good in the car together as a family, and by myself, I could see myself falling asleep a couple times. So
yeah,
You have no idea how hard I worked to try to get free waffle coupons for you guys.
dude, that would have been awesome, man. That would have been awesome.
You know,
to go have waffle.
they're not giving them out right now because it's hard for them to get some of their supplies. So yeah,
Well, I'm sure there's a Waffle House in Colorado. I got to ask Sean, like, what's a good breakfast place to go to?
They're
'Cause they're
international. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
'cause I'm like,
everywhere.
I know Saturday everybody's going to want to go eat breakfast or something.
yeah.
I know damn well I'm going to be up. I'm going to be up
Wednesday
early.
night, Roosevelt. No. Thursday morning.
You know, they started school here, and then some kid got sick, so then they immediately stopped school again.
yeah.
I can't
unbelievable.
imagine being a parent.
Unbelievable.
No, you got to keep going. That happened here in Hernando, and they were just like, no, full
Screw
send.
it, right? Yeah.
You just
Yeah, they get
we're
two
getting
kids
around
with
it.
it, and they shut the schools down again.
That's how it is over here.
Oh.
West Coast, California.
Gotta keep on flowing, man. Can't keep shutting it down because it's just like anything else.
It's all
It
Again.
doesn't stop.
Right. Well, it will.
It's political.
As
It'll
soon as the
stop
election,
every-
as soon as the
it'll
election's
stop after
over,
the election.
it'll
You
stop
watch.
immediately. It'll stop immediately after the election. COVID will go away. Nobody will even talk about it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be like a blip. Like think of everything that's happened in the years past that just sort of fades away and nobody ever mentions it again. You think about it, but it's like you don't really like think it's not at the forefront of your mind.
They locked down all the beaches over here during Labor Day. And with the fires burning and smoke in the air, you couldn't really do anything. Man. It's crazy.
The beaches here were nuts.
Roosevelt, those
Ours are open too.
Yeah.
the event is
All right, guys. I will let
Saturday
you
and Sunday.
let y'all
So
go. I'll catch you guys next time. Jim, thanks for having me, man.
All right, Ken. Thanks for
Ken,
coming.
have a good
Mitch,
night.
Al, Mel.
Take care, man.
See
Good
you.
night, guys.
I'm gonna bounce too, Jim. I updating my website tonight. I got one more thing I want to try and get done if I can. I got my membership stuff set up and added because I got rid of Patreon, and
Oh, you did?
yeah, Patreon sent an email out that said they were going to change the way they operate to cater to certain groups of people.
Really?
Yep.
And they donated a ton of money to the Democrats.
50,000 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patreon sent an email saying that we're donating all this money to the Democrats, and that would be enough for me to.
So
say
I had
yes.
the people that were Patreon subscribers, I contacted them and asked them to please cancel their subscription. I pulled what little bit of money I had in Patreon out, and now I'm doing it through PayPal. PayPal actually offers a membership if you have a business account. So I'm going to do it through PayPal. So I got that all set up and a button on my website, and I got a Remote Pilot 101 link button set up on my homepage. So when you go to my website, you can go right to Remote Pilot 101 and get your lifetime membership there for $99, and which I think is better than Ken Heron's discount, but don't tell him, okay?
Is it though? Is it?
Well, he gets 30%, and the regular price is $149.
That's close.
It's real close. It might be close to the same.
You know, when I joined Air Data, the best I could find was a 10% discount. And I just got a thing from then. Now, I don't get anything from it, but if you join Air Data and use Above and Beyond 20, you get a 20% discount. It's like, damn, I couldn't get that when I joined.
Right. Well, see, they offered me to make money. They offered me a thing where if somebody joined through my link, I would get the extra money. And I said, no. Pass that savings on to the customer. I don't care to make money off of it. I want to give my viewers the biggest discount they can get. So that's what we did. So the money that I'd be making, I actually just donated back into the system so that it.
I don't get any money from it. It's just a discount for you guys.
It's not an affiliate.
No. Nope.
Oh, okay. See, that's what they offered me, and I said, no, I don't want to do the affiliate thing. I don't need to make money off of it. I'd rather just give the discount. So, yeah.
I've got a bunch of affiliate links, like with TubeBuddy and all these little things, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to pester people with that. Or where would you even put it now?
Or just links in your description.
In every description of every video?
Yeah.
Yeah, cut and paste all that stuff in every description.
Yeah.
And then 20 times during your stream say, link in the description below.
Yep. Yep. Or put it on your website and just tell people, hey, go have a look at my website. I got deals on there you can take advantage of.
Oh, Mel, I got an email from SanDisk. Remember I told you about the registering the card?
Yeah.
Well, I registered it and I thought it said 5 years, but I got an email from them and they said, no, it's a lifetime of the
Oh, it's
card.
no kidding. Oh, that's good to know.
Wow.
So I got this thing and it has this dotted line here on the back of.
Right. You showed us once the other day.
Just cut this. And when you do, it's got, let me see if I can bring up this picture here. It brings up screen shared, all these stupid things. It brings up this disk. So whether you have an SSD or the SD card, you can get this RescuePRO software for free.
They all live right now?
Yeah.
Can I have just one?
Yeah.
Hey,
Ron.
What's going on, Ron?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Cold.
Looks it. Looks like it.
It is. We actually got snow last night
Oh, wow.
here in Wyoming. And got about 10 minutes left of our hunt here for the day. I've got 2 hunters. I don't know whether you can see way up the top of that hill. I've got a hunter about 1,100 yards away. I got another one about a half mile away. They're both in archery blinds and just
hanging out.
Hanging out.
Ron's like the field reporter, man.
Yeah, I am,
coming
man.
in from
Reporting from the
sturgeons
field.
and hunting. It's awesome.
Yeah. Got my buggy here.
Strangest thing I ever had snow in Montana, July 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
What's your altitude there, Ron?
About 5,000. Yeah. So, man, we had a ton of antelope here today. I just couldn't get them to the blinds.
Huh.
We had, get this, Friday, it was 100 degrees, 101. Saturday, it was almost 90. And Sunday cooled down into about the 70s. Monday, we started hunting and we come out here. It was kind of nice around 60, and then it dropped.
Cold
And
front,
next thing you know, we're in the 30s, rain, freezing rain, snow. It's terrible.
Wow. Cold front
But-
came through, huh?
Oh, big time. Yeah.
That's what's coming for all of us. It's going to cool us off.
Yeah.
I can't wait, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, your mic's muted.
Your mic's muted, Jim.
Is he outside?
We got this package delivered, and how come the goddamn thing won't put that sideways again? This thing got delivered, and the box looks like 14 people have mugged it.
You have to leave it like
Oh.
that.
I got to leave it like
The way
this.
she took the pictures. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, it's all beat up.
Yeah.
Look at that, Jim. UPS.
What is
What
it?
was that? UPS or what?
UPS.
UPS.
What is it?
Wow. What is it?
It's an exercise machine.
Oh, okay.
Ah, that won't. You
Jesus
can't break
Christ.
it. Then you'll be all right.
I don't care if you don't
I
deliver
wouldn't trust it.
anything
You probably
like that.
got bolts missing or something.
Yeah, you don't know what the hell's missing.
Where is he?
He's in South Dakota. Well, it says Hunting, Wyoming, so I'm going to venture that he's in Wyoming.
Yeah, I'm in Wyoming. Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to tell you. I know you're still on. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Huh?
Good night.
Now they see you.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
I had to
She's looking at Ron saying, "Where is this guy?" It says Hunting, Wyoming.
He's on location.
On location.
That's right.
He's 2 hours.
Hey Jim,
behind.
did you show him that picture I sent you?
No. You said you were going to show it.
Oh no, I said for you to show it. I can't share on the phone here.
Oh, now I got it on the damn phone.
Well, hold the phone up.
So how many days are you out there, Ron?
I've been here since Friday. I'll be here till Thursday night. Hopefully, maybe unless I tag out tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day. I think I got a couple plans in mind. We're gonna do a little sneaking and stalking tomorrow, and the rut's starting. So I'm gonna actually put a decoy up at the blind. And I watched a couple bucks today. They were 800 yards apart, and they saw each other, and one went after the other. So they're starting to fight. You know how men fight over girls. I don't know why we do that, but
well, we've become more civilized.
Yes, we've gotten older and wiser, Mitch, or Mel. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the part that wised us up is it takes longer to recover from the fight nowadays.
That's true.
Trying to make it.
Man, look at that beautiful sunset back there. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Oh, yeah, we see the picture, Jim.
Yep.
So did you bring all your camera equipment? Did he bring all his camera equipment, Ron?
No, well, I got some. It's been crappy the last couple of days, so I left. But that's an albino mule deer.
What's this? What's the other one across from it?
They're a regular mule deer.
Okay.
Yeah. But those
I've
are
never seen that.
Yeah, I've only ever seen one other white-tailed or albino whitetail in my life, but that's a mule deer. That's the first one I've ever seen in my life. So very, very rare.
It's better back there.
Yeah, but so I just wanted to pop in and say hi for a minute, and
glad you did.
Yeah,
good seeing you, Ron.
Yeah, hope everybody is well. And
Ron, take your SD card package, open it up, and get that free 2-year rescue software.
And so if you if you register it, the card's replaceable for lifetime?
The card is replaceable for lifetime, and you get whatever the heck this stuff is. Recover photos, recover audio, video. I've never had to recover anything, so what's the situation? What do you
if you
what's the brand?
SanDisk.
SanDisk, really? Okay.
If you happen to shut your camera off, like your drone off, or you crash and your battery ejects, while you're recording, that will corrupt the file, and you won't be able to use that last file that was being recorded when power was cut.
Jim, is that for all SanDisk?
All of them,
that would be handy to have in that instance. There's another program that does it, and I've done it before and recovered the files, but it's a pain in the ass.
It had this little emblem down here, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And so I went looking all around, and if you cut this dotted line and then just open it like a flap.
Yep. So in other words, open it civil and not like a beast, like I open my
Yeah, because I normally just open it up in the front.
I normally take a knife and cut the little plastic tab out.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I always open
see that.
That's what we all do.
Never
Yeah.
looked inside.
What the hell do I need the package for?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they hide it on purpose. That way
Yeah.
they don't have to give so many away.
Right. So it's a lifetime warranty on the card and free rescue software.
You know, I don't ever recall having a battery or a card go bad.
I've one.
I've had cards fail.
Really?
Yep. Where nothing would read them no matter what, and there was nothing to recover on them.
Now, did you? I didn't do anything to my card. Just one day it would.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work. Yep.
That's what happened with you too?
That was older style cards, years ago. I've not had it happen recently, but I've had it a couple times probably.
I don't, Mitch, you might get a kick out of this. I don't know why they tell you this, and are you about to write this crap down? they send you this when you type in your name and your email address to register the software to you, right?
Yeah.
Who's writing down that registration ID?
Okay, so here's what you do. You make a folder, you put it in a directory on your PC, and then you do a snapshot of that, create an image, and put it in that folder, and you end up with a whole bunch of folder of JPEG files of all of your
What do you think you're looking at?
registration. Well, there you go. See?
That's exactly what you're looking at. Microsoft Snip software.
Yep.
I
Hey,
usually
guys,
just make a folder.
I'm gonna
Go ahead,
bail.
Mel. All right, Mel.
All right, Mel. Take care.
I'm
Have a good
gonna
one.
listen, but I'm gonna take a look at get my website closed out so it can be updated and everything will be done.
All right,
For
Mel.
tonight, I'm done.
Good to see
anyway.
Thanks for coming, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite. See you guys later. Ron, be
Take
careful
care,
out
Mel.
there.
Yeah, take care. Well, Jim, I gotta bail myself. I gotta go pick up my guys here in about 5 minutes. So, and then get back to camp, make lunches, and get back up at 3 a.m. So,
Sounds
you
like a lot
had
of work.
you expect to get because I know you
Sympathy?
went scouting ahead of time.
yeah, I've been here since last Friday. Yeah.
Wow.
This is my safe haven, man. I love this. This is what I do, you know. But yeah, I'm hoping to get these guys are they're a professional archery group. There's 15 of them in camp. They're a good bunch of guys, and they do competition all over the nation. They've actually gone, I think, over to Europe and competed. So, but we'll see how they do when the time comes when the animal presents. See how good of a shot they are.
Yeah.
So, but
Are you hunting in a situation with hills and valleys?
yeah,
'Cause that's
I
a
don't know
big
whether you can, my guy is. I don't know whether you can see it. You see that? It looks like an antenna. It's a windmill, actually. That's where he's at. He's 1,150 yards from me, and I just sit down here and I scan the bottom, and then my other guy is about a half mile that way.
You got a
And
walkie-talkie? How do you talk to them?
Oh, we actually have cell service here, believe it or not.
Oh,
Well,
geez.
otherwise we do. Okay.
I can't get good cell service at my house, but he gets it in the middle
Yeah,
of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's pretty here. This older lady, she's I think like in her 70s. I'm thinking about a sugar grandma, but she owns about 40,000 acres, and she has, I think, 8 or 10 oil wells on here.
Oh God.
I could be a kept man.
You
could.
They pay you
Little
for the
sacrifice you have to
lease
make.
or something,
It's a
right?
little one.
Yeah, I'm a slight sacrifice.
Just a little one.
Yeah, but yeah, this is beautiful out here. So the only thing I shot this week was a coyote. He was chasing antelope. Pulled out my pistol and shot him at about 60, 70 yards. Winged him. I don't know whether I killed him or not, but
With a pistol?
yeah.
Nice shooting.
Oh yeah. Yep. It was kind of a luck shot. I was leading him a little bit. He was bolting. I led him a little bit, pulled the trigger, and I heard yep, 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 yep. I was like, oh, I think I hit him. So, yeah.
Ron, you got to get Adrian out there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring all his
All
arsenal.
his guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd have a
Then
good
hide,
time.
Then
man.
hide under your Jeep.
Yeah. Alrighty, fellas. Well, you guys have a good night. I can't see anybody in the chat, but hello to everyone, and we will catch you on another day.
All right,
Take care, Ron. Have
buddy.
fun, man. Be safe.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good night.
Yeah, this was the SanDisk Extreme Plus, but they all have it. They all have the warranty too. I know that.
So funny. What possessed you to look at the back?
I always look at them for the right speeds, and they always put that in the tiny, tiny fine print. So I took a photograph of it on the with my cell phone, and I enlarged the photo, and I saw it had this number 3 next to it. And I said, "What the hell's number 3?" Oh, it's the free software. So I went looking
Damn.
for the free software, and there it is.
That's good to know.
But they all
I'll
should
be a little
have.
bit more civilized when I open mine next time.
Let us know if you ever use that and
I
how
do
well
that.
it works.
I do that, Al. I cut these plastic things and take the card right out of there.
Yeah.
I just rip it all apart.
Do you throw away the little adapter? I saved about 30 of those things and then decided I got enough of them.
I don't know what to do with them. Is one faster than another? What? Why?
Thomas says you have an obsession with the SD card.
Well, you know that one time you get out there and you don't bring an extra SD card with you, and you go to shoot, and the video won't work, and you're like, the drone just has an extra.
So your M210
Yeah.
doesn't have an internal storage, like
No.
a Mavic 2 Pro. Really?
SD
Wow.
card. SD card.
I would think it would at least have both, just in case.
But so I started putting 2 SD cards in the Crystal Sky, so I'll always have an SD card to grab.
Yeah. I got 128 gig that I keep in that Crystal Sky.
That's what we went through the other night, where you said that's where you transfer the video.
Yeah, if I'm, on a rare occasion that I actually get paid to shoot something commercially, and I'll actually make a copy of the file right off the bat onto another SD card in the Crystal Sky, so that I make sure that that footage that you can only get one shot at, I got a couple copies coming home.
Mitch, I took the plunge.
What is that? Oh, hey, man. Good for you. Have you flown any FPV yet?
Yeah, I've been flying I don't upload a lot of stuff, but my Commander V1s, I thought it was dirt inside the lens, but it was what Jim. Remember, you mentioned in my community tab, you said pixel burnt or something like that, burnt pixels.
Yeah.
Started increasing all the time. I thought it was like dirt inside of it.
Oh,
and then
okay.
every time I use it, it got more and got more and more. It's just hard to see out of those things.
So do you fly mostly analog stuff now?
No, well, I actually have 3. One is analog, and this one I just got. It's a Gephardt Singo.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Cool.
I bought the wrong adapter. The XT30 to XT60.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I've been flying the one I showed you last time.
Yeah, but do you have? But I mean, are you going to get an analog mod for your DJI goggles?
Yes, I would like to do that. So I can use all of them for digital.
This company in England makes the best one so far. It's like 40 something bucks, and there's a million videos on it on YouTube. But I built mine. I 3D printed the thing and got a Fat Shark module for it. But they sell one now. No, you don't have to solder anything. You just 2 screws. You bolt it on the front. It has wires coming out. One wire plugs into the AV in on your goggles, and the other is the power lead. And you don't even have to do anything. You just screw it onto the goggles and buy yourself a Fat Shark. Or you probably have a module that you're already using in the goggles that you have. Or does that have the built-in receivers?
I think this has the built-in receivers inside it, the Commander V1. Okay.
Well, I'm using the TBS Fusion module, which is a terrific module. You've got the rapid fire, Immersion RC rapid fire, which is the de facto standard that everybody uses. But the TBS module is $120 and it works great. It works great.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out and fly it.
Yeah. Oh, but when you put the DJI camera in the drone, when you got a drone with the digital camera in it, it's like a whole new world, man.
Well, it's a pain in the ass flying with that analog.
Yeah, and you get range with the next thing about the digital is you get tremendous range that you don't get with analog.
I got TBS Fire Crossfire nano receiver. I'm flying with the Jumper T12 Pro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got the I just got the Crossfire, the new Micro TX version 2.
You have the 16. right?
I've got the Jumper T16. I just bought a Radio Master just to have a second radio because they're so cheap, and that's the T16S Radio Masters. So it's going to be pretty much similar to the Jumper, but that Crossfire module is terrific, and they just released a firmware update for it, Al, yesterday, that increases the maximum output to a watt.
Oh, you were saying it was started at 200 milliwatts?
250, yeah, because it was new, and they evidently they over the first month that it was out, they realized that it was going to work well at a watt. But the way Crossfire works, it allocates its power dynamically, which is fabulous. So you just turn it on, and if it only needs 10 milliwatts, that's all it uses. And then if it sees the link quality is going down, it increases the power. And
is it
as you
judging
get
it
further
via
away,
SSI signal?
yeah, it uses like RSSI, but they call it link quality. It's a different way that they measure it. But basically, the further away you fly, the more power will come on the transmitter until it gets to the maximum now of 1 watt, which will get you 15, 20 miles with that thing.
Jeez.
So
Wow.
you're never going to outfly your video feed. Your video feed is always going to be the first thing to go with Crossfire. But these guys that are flying long-range FPV airplanes,
yeah,
they set up these big antennas to receive the video signal, and some of them even have antenna trackers, where, like NASA, the antenna will follow the airplane. It's motorized, and they have these big patch antennas and they get 20, 25 miles out of analog video signals with those things. It's incredible.
I'll tell you what's the great thing about Crossfire that I like is the binding process.
Oh God,
since it's open source, the open source one using FreeSky or DSMX or whatever it's called, it's a pain in the ass to try to bind those things. But Crossfire,
no, it's fabulous. And even more important than that is the over-the-air firmware updates in the receivers. You got a FreeSky receiver, you got to take it out, you got to solder some wires on it, you got to plug it into something, the back of your transmitter, to upload new firmware to it. It's a pain in the ass. Whereas with the Crossfire, if you update the firmware in your transmitter module and it needs the firmware to be updated in the receiver, the first time you turn it on, you'll get a message that says your receiver needs to be updated. Do you want to update it now? You say yes, and it does it right over the air. You don't have to touch the receiver. So that's one of the reasons that I went to that thing.
So Thomas put a link to a UK company that sells. I just went on it right now. It's 44 euros, 45 euros. What's that in American? Probably would have to find a company that has something similar to that over here, right? I don't know if you've seen it.
That's an antenna tracker. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
this is something different.
On the screen now, Foxtech has made antenna trackers for about a couple of years now, and they're good. This is the DJI Track 10 that never came out.
Oh, really? Okay. No, it's fascinating, and with all that shit that I have, I never fly real long range anyway. Maybe a mile is about as far as I go, but I've taken that DJI FPV system out almost a mile, and the video feed is just as solid as can be, and you get a lot of confidence when you're so for doing any kind of cinematic stuff, you get a hell of a lot more confidence with the digital than you.
I just couldn't see anything in the analog at all. I mean, it was so difficult to see stuff when I was flying. I mean, I don't know if it could have just been the goggles I had were kind of run of the mill.
You're
I'm excited. I'm just waiting for that adapter.
So, was it in fact pixel death, Al?
Yeah, it's building up. It looks like dirt, but when you look in there, it's like you could see the screen. It's like it almost looks like it's like yellowish, like it's burning or something. It just looks weird.
Pixels are dying,
Yeah, slowly but surely. It sucks.
Yeah, Mike is talking about it. The guys are doing range tests with these DJI goggles, and it's true. If you do lose signal, the video stops. It stops recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what Mike
the drawback. Some type of caveat.
You get plenty of visual cues. You'll especially if you're in focus mode, you'll see the sides will start to get fuzzy, And just like with analog, you got to know what your limits are, and you got to know when to turn around and start coming back. But I don't
Now-
need to fly that far away.
With the DJIs, I heard when they originally came out that the way they do it is before it drops signal entirely, it'll start to push into the center.
Yeah, focus mode, they call that. Yeah, but I fly with that off. I would rather not have that. I can see if I get too far out, I can see a couple little jumpy things happen, and then I go, okay, time to turn around, and I'll turn around. I've never lost the image in all the.
What about
flying
analog?
activities.
How's it fly with analog?
Well, it's you got nice big screens, and you got a great DVR. They have the DVR in that thing is 60 frames a second, and it's terrific. So the analog, the recordings I get from analog flying with that TBS Fusion module are, I think, as good as any goggles that you're going to buy out there. Especially but the secret is to get the good module for it.
Okay. This was Thomas put a link on Thomas Ariel up on the top. I don't know. You guys might have seen a British.
The British company that makes the adapter.
Yeah. Is this the one, Mitch? He says top notch one. The best one that works with it.
Because you don't have to build it. You don't have to do anything. You just 2 screws. You take the faceplate off. You put that faceplate on. A couple of wires. Just plug in, and you're in business. The only
Do you see it, Jim?
Yeah, I'm opening it now.
The only hassle with the analog module on the DJI goggles is every time you fire it up, you got to go through the menu in the goggles.
Every time?
Every time. It doesn't automatically go to the analog in. It automatically goes to the digital in. So that's the one right there. And you see on it, you see the wires coming out of the which would be the right side of it, and they just plug right into the side of the goggles, so there's no installation or anything.
One of the things I found weird with it was the long antenna, the power cord. It's a long one. I guess you
I've got
pocket.
I've actually got a Mr. Steel headband on mine. In fact, hang on a second, I'll show you.
You bought the foam too, didn't you, Mitch? I think he was saying that he got the extra foam for the front faceplate to make it more comfortable.
What was that, Jim? Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
I was reading the chat.
Mitch bought the foam to go on the front of the goggles. That thicker foam.
I haven't opened up the box. I'm waiting for the adapter for the actual drone, the little Cinewoop.
Mitch, what was the reason you bought that extra foam for?
Oh, because the foam that comes with them doesn't
light.
Fit. It's not really good. So
do you get light in there?
You get light leak.
First got it.
I mean, it's okay, but this here. Let me see if I can show you this. Here, make this a little bigger.
Let me get rid of this.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. So what I got is first thing I did was get rid of that over the head strap, because the problem with the over the head strap is if you try to the side strap's not tight enough to keep it on your head if you lift it up and put it on your forehead. Without that overhead strap, it tends to, hitting your head, it falls down. So I got this Mr. Steel Ethics heavy-duty strap, and that made a big difference. And in that heavy-duty strap on the side, there's a holder for the Fat Shark style battery pack. And this is an immersion RC battery pack. It's got two lithium-ion batteries in it, and you can push the button and it'll light up and tell you what your voltages are and everything. And you push it twice and it'll turn it on for you. So I've got the battery pack on the head on the goggles, and then on the front of the goggles, I actually made this mod where I 3D printed this faceplate with the holder for this TBS Fusion module, and the wires, same way. The wires just come out of this, and this red plug over here on the side, see that plug right there? That's the AV in. And then I power this analog module right from the binding plug on this battery. I just plug this in, and you'll see that the analog module lights up and does its thing. So the nice thing about that is if I'm flying digital, I don't have to put antennas on this, and I don't plug it in, and it doesn't use any battery power. I just plug the power cord from that into the goggles here.
So how does the other one work that Thomas showed? Is
Same
that a
thing.
separate power source? Oh, same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a separate. They have a battery eliminator built into it to power the module. But the beautiful thing is this particular TBS Fusion module will run at higher voltages than just 5 volts, like so many of those Fat Shark modules do. So this will run very nicely at 8 volts, and I get 8 volts right out of this binding, this balance port. So I just plug that in. But this, and then I got the foam.
What is the
15
Fat Shark battery? How many volts is the Fat Shark battery?
That's 8 volts. Two
So you get
lithium ion, two 18650s.
So you get a UBEC in between the two?
No, I don't need it. I don't need it because the DJI goggles work up to 4S, and this is the equivalent of a 2S pack.
Okay.
And
So
the analog
it's image.
module will work at a high voltage, so it'll work on 8 volts as well. So I
So
don't
you-
need to have that battery, the 5-volt circuit in there.
So you do not need a 4S power, 4S battery to power them. Up to 4S.
No, you can anywhere from 2 to 4S you can power the goggles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can put a 3-cell in your pocket or a 4-cell, either way. But this two cell works fine, and I get more than a full day of flying out of one of these things. And then because it's got a balance connector on it, when you buy this pack, this Immersion RC pack, it comes with a little adapter that plugs into here, and it'll plug into a regular LiPo charger, and you set it to lithium ion, and I just charge this pack off the same charger I used to charge my lithium, my LiPos.
But I train set those. The batteries
the
in there, are they 18?
18650.
18650?
Yeah, 18650.
Just making a note of everything.
And they come out of there so you can recharge them?
Well, I recharge them in there right through this plug, and it
okay.
balance charges them too because it balances the two cells.
Right.
Because
And you
it
said
has
Fat Shark? Those are Fat Shark battery?
The battery is made. No, this battery pack is called a Smart Power Case by Furious, F-U-R-I-O-U-S, Furious FPV.
Are they cheaper than the Fat Shark batteries?
I think this you buy the case and then you just put regular 18650s in it.
So
Yeah.
you're buying the case, Al, and you'll have to buy the 18650.
Yeah, then you just get a couple of 18650s. So between the $15 foam, which really makes it nice, the $15 Mr. Steel head strap, and
How much
the
how much
battery
that
pack.
ran you?
This is $15 for the strap.
25 here in California.
And I think this was about $25 or so for this, maybe $30 for this battery case. I don't have to have that thing in my pocket all the time. Everything is self-contained.
Yeah, I don't like it in the pocket. I mean,
No.
it's not good next to your head either, but
Well, not only
I'm
that,
used to
but
flying that way.
you keep tugging on that barrel plug here. You're gonna, I think, eventually over time. Now, what a lot of guys do, and what I did when I was using that, is I actually tie wrapped it up here. I plugged it in and then tie wrapped it to this where the strap goes in, and that took the strain. That took the strain off of it. If you tugged on it, you weren't tugging on the plug. You were just tugging on where it was tie wrapped to the.
No mod on that the band, like in order to connect it to the DJI.
Yeah, the only
goggles?
what you have to do to put the band on, because it slips over this, is you have to cut you have to take a Dremel cutter and cut yeah. See, look.
You could just
I'm not
take a
handy with
knife.
tools.
Here.
Can't you take a
See
knife
how
and do it?
see how I don't know if you can see it, but you see right there in the center.
middle?
I just cut a notch
okay.
out of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then this just slides in like that.
What's that bracket made out of? Is it metal?
Titanium.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Some kind of a aluminum or titanium. Yeah. And I've got those little cutting wheels for Dremel tools that you can use to cut off wheels. It just went through that like butter. Cut a little slot in there, and But the strap made all the difference. When I finally got these goggles modded out like this, now I can leave them up. They'll sit up on my head, and I can just pop them down to my eyes, pull them up. And what I found out what I had to do though is I because of my glasses, I end up putting a strap on my glasses, a lanyard to hold
because you can wear them with your
my
glasses
head.
on, right?
Yeah. And but the thing was, every time I took the goggles off, it would pull the glasses off my head. So now I go out there and it's like putting on your uniform. I got to put the strap on the glasses to hold on my head. I wear my baseball cap on backwards because having that baseball cap up there keeps this thing up from sliding down, sitting on the baseball cap. And I've gotten pretty used to it. So with one hand, I can take it, pull it out, put it over my glasses, pull it off my glasses, put it back up on my head. Makes it real easy to just flip it up and down. That was a problem with that.
I like that setup.
Yeah, it was a nice setup. The DJ, you get these foam things right from DJI.
But
they're on their website.
Now, the OEM. Wait a minute, those are OEM? They came with them?
No, these are DJI. These are made by DJI. The memory foam pad for it.
Yeah, he bought that separate.
And how much those run you?
$15.
They charge everything separate, like Apple.
Yeah, $15. $15 for that. I'll tell you what, I found that all these guys buying these expensive antennas for these things.
Yeah.
Most of them don't do any. Most of them don't do any better than the stock antennas.
Okay, so it's no purpose for it because I've seen that. I watched a few videos. And a lot of guys
the problem is they put these patches on them, and patches are directional.
The square
so
patches.
If you're not looking in the direction where your quad is with a patch, you're not getting any benefit. These things here, which is cool, I can sit down in my chair and I can go fly a half mile behind me, away behind me, around me, to the left or right, without having to make sure I'm turning my head towards the goggles. So I'm happy with the antennas, even though I look like Ant-Man with these things on.
You know what? Like these guys are saying, they're getting 2 miles. You got a mile out of. What the hell do you need?
Yeah, for FPV, I don't want to be flying any further away than that. You do something, you crash, or you'd be spending the rest of your life trying to find your damn quad.
That's I've
just been flying mine around the house because I don't know, I get nervous of putting that stuff on and then being outside and don't know who's approaching you, and that's the New Yorker in me.
Yeah, I know.
Being scared and not knowing you're out there.
It's happened.
That park where I fly is so deserted that I can. Interestingly enough, believe it or not, nobody can sneak up when I'm flying because I can see everywhere through the goggles. I can see I mean, I'm flying around. If somebody's walking, I see him. If somebody's walking a dog, I see him. If somebody pulls up in a car, I hear the car, and then I can actually see it. So you've got the eyes in the sky to keep an eye on yourself when you're flying alone.
I just got to get a comfort level with it.
How are you seeing?
What's that?
How are you seeing them?
Through the camera in the drone.
Oh. Okay.
I'm flying around and I see the entire landscape. I can see every car coming. I can see everybody with a bicycle. I can see everybody walking a dog that's anywhere near me, because when you're flying around like this, you're getting an image of the whole entire park.
Mike Kenny said, must be nice having that crystal sky and the bright light. Today, Mitch, in the middle of the day, I was flying, and man, you can hear those fans when they kick on. You got the 785 crystal sky too.
Yeah.
And those fans, they were pumping today, boy.
Were they really?
I was getting the sun directly on them because I had to keep the antenna facing the drone. So, I didn't want to bend it all too much, but I had that sun right on that thing, and man, it was hot as hell.
Did you all the shots again, Jim, or just that one shot?
No, I did all the shots I could. If I'm out there, and I got 4 sets of battery, I'm going to redo the whole thing. And then I went and took the shots of that fire that was there. You could see the little foam blowing away in the wind. The foam they put on the fire.
Here, I'll show you something here, Jim. Let me share this with you. This is my Tiny Hawk analog feed recorded on the DJI goggles.
Now,
It's not bad. It's not
No,
bad.
not at all. Wow.
That's
I was-
that's
What are they
that little
recording
tiny.
them at? What's the DVRs recording these things at? 'Cause
Well,
I don't want
it's-
480p.
Well, the drone
Yeah,
is
probably
putting
less
out.
than
See
that,
that an analog quad is going to put out 480p. The goggles record 720p at 60 frames a second, but the
That's
source of the analog image is only 480. But for an analog image from a little Tiny Hawk, that's not
I'm
really
impressed with
that
that
bad.
that version 2 Tiny Hawk, because the version 1 I had could never fly outside. The slightest
Yeah.
wind breeze will send that thing going, and it's
Now
crash
this
city.
this is 200 milliwatts. See me sitting there? So somebody comes up to me, I'm flying around myself like that. I'm going to see him. But this was cool because the birds were out there. So I said, I'm going to go fly. I'm going to go orbit the birds here. And but that's analog. That's analog footage from the goggles, and that's what I was seeing. Actually, what I was seeing was that clear or even better. But not bad. So I don't mind flying analog with those things. And that's only a 200 milliwatt transmitter in that little tiny drone. See, there's a car. See, I see the car over there.
Yeah, if you're flying close like that, I would see probably no. You could hear it and see it, but if you're a little bit farther out,
Yeah. But I have a ball. I go out there in the morning. I just, sometimes I'm by myself. Sometimes there may be another guy out there or two flying a model airplane. And I got the whole place to myself. And I fly fixed wings, fixed wing FPV and digital quads and analog quads and, iNav stuff, everything. It's just a great place to fly.
Jimmy, you're not far from there, right?
No, it's in my town.
Yeah,
it's a huge
this is
park that's not used. It's been open for years.
Oh, it's tremendous. This to show you the size of this place. Let me find the video here. This video here. I want to find one with the goggles. I want to find the goggles feed. Here, I think this is this is the digital goggles feed.
That's
Al.
a hell of a difference.
Yeah, this is the goggles feed from the Cadex Vista. Now it's a little jerky, but that's StreamYard's.
Yeah, I have the same.
That's good though.
Playing a video.
But that's what you're going to see in your that's what you're going to see in your DJI goggles compared to the analog. It's incredible, isn't it?
I would want to see this before I'd want to see analog.
Oh, once you start flying with digital, and I have a.
You get spoiled.
I know that I have a feed here where I actually took a flight. Actually went here. Okay, here I decided to actually take a little trip with it. All right, actually head out into the park. And I just started flying away from myself, and you see the feed just stayed solid.
They are DJI only 720 or 1080.
Yeah, this is 720. This is the goggle feed. This is actually recorded on the goggle DVR. Not at 720.
Okay.
60 frames a second. This is not the feed that the recording that's recorded in an air unit if you have it in your quad that records to the SD card.
What is that picking up? 1080?
1080, yeah. 1080,
Oh, is it?
60
Okay.
frames a second, yeah.
So the original air camera is 720/60.
The air unit, the Vista does not have a built-in DVR, whereas the original air unit does. But this is goggle footage. I mean, and I'm flying all over this friggin' park.
Yeah, I'd feel comfortable with that.
StreamYard.
So what's the difference between these, Mitch, and the Orcas? Is there any difference? I mean, I haven't really looked at
Orcas are analog. Orcas are only analog
Oh,
right now, so
okay.
they're not going to be able to display this kind. You're not going to get this kind of.
But they're also $55. How much is the DJI setup?
No, the Orcas are $600, and then you got to start buying modules for $150. The
Oh, so
Orcas
they're way
actually
more.
cost more. They actually cost more than the DJI system.
Wow.
And the big fat sharks, the HDO2s, are $500 plus, and that's without modules. You need to buy modules for those too. But you can see here that.
Just seeing it on this, it looks so much clearer.
Clean enough.
The goggle recording is tremendous. Yeah, it really is nice. And then this was my Cinewhoop, Al. This was that reptile that I built, like what you have. So this is a 3-inch quad with shrouds.
You wouldn't even know it.
I know. It's flying smooth too, Mitch. Gee, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's a shame that the video is being all jerked up by StreamYards, but
between StreamYards and
but
the computer staggering on 4K video,
it gets smooth here occasionally. But this
Hey, Steve.
And then I put a GoPro. I put a GoPro on this flight, and this was the GoPro footage. Come on.
Well, hang on with that. I want to show Steve some footage I grabbed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is it's just bogging down here.
Save that, Mitch, because if this bogs down, we'll go back to you.
Yeah, I think I got too much going on this computer here.
But this is over that fire, Mitch. I don't know if you heard about it.
I heard that on the news.
This is 250 feet up, and I'm using the Olympus 25 millimeter lens, and you catch some foam flying away in the breeze here. That white stuff on the ground is the foam they blew on it.
There's the hazmat crews.
Yeah, there it goes. They had hazmat crews there. In fact, the police are still on scene here when I'm flying over it.
25 millimeters, a nice lens. Nifty 50 on the 4/3.
See how sharp that damn thing is?
It's very sharp.
That looks good.
I can imagine what the original footage looks like, but it still looks sharp and crisp.
And the 45 I like, but geez, it just turned like the black pavement. It turned it a teal. Now, if you look on the left there, you can see the police and fire marshal units are still there. Well, you can't see my cursor, but they're off in the little white vans there. And that plant is sitting right across, that's train tracks, and then there's a highway, and there's this whole new apartment building they built.
Right next to it.
Right next to it.
Big explosion, Jim, or just a fire?
No, it was big. Apparently, I don't know how many were in that container in the middle there, but the smoke plume was huge.
Now, did you get pictures of the smoke plume?
Yeah, but they're crappy.
Probably crappy to you, and they look good to any other person on the planet.
Exactly, Al.
No, I'm talking.
Your local news might be interested in that footage.
They are, actually.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
They gave me their card. See, this is.
But under the card, how many $100 bills were under the card? That's what I want to know.
It's a little dark, though. I had a 16 ND on it, and I don't like when the green trees have that dark shadow.
Well, you're filming in non, though, right?
I was shooting in normal color.
Normal, non. I think that happens when you do that normal color. You get the dark is really dark, like your shades and shadows are crushed.
Yeah, you see the shadows by the trees and all that.
Yeah, that's where an 8 would have probably been a little bit better.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, it was so hard to tell because you got the sun blasting on the crystal sky, and I'm actually getting a reflection off it. I'm standing right on the side of this highway where the cars are going.
Off the freeway, right off the freeway.
Yeah, I was standing right
Wow.
there, and you're like, because there's no place for me to park and get in close.
Only in Florida. I couldn't get away with that here in California.
No
I'd be
way.
too scared to.
So that
CHP will roll up on me and take my drone.
That and the higher patrol would be locking your ass up in the back of seat of their car.
Well, all these cars here, those little vans down there, are police. They're fire inspectors. So what do you call them?
I imagine, yeah.
Arson inspectors or whatever the hell they are.
Wow.
And they didn't have their own drones?
No.
Wow. I'm shocked by that.
They had the county fire department. They even had a unit from Patrick Air Force Base come out and spray the foam, Mitch. Now, see, this is 4K playing on my computer. That's why it's jittery. But the actual video, of course, is not. But I'm saying, look at all these blue barrels laying around back here.
It's still there.
What they do. Yeah, that's what they store.
That looks like white and black and only a few blue.
Yeah.
Especially on the top.
There's
That's
still
all.
tons of barrels there to blow up, is all I'm saying.
Good point. There's a couple of them on. I didn't even see that on their sides in the water, up top.
That water's from the fire engines.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So God only knows what's in the other barrels.
Something
sure the
else
company
will
has
blow
to
up and explode, probably. Yeah.
Sure, that company has to get a cleanup crew there, pay for out of pocket, or their insurance.
What did blow up, they said, was isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah. Why would they have so much of that? I don't know what it's used for. But,
well, they used that to clean stuff.
Well, they used to use the
solvent.
ultrasonic solutions to clean.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me take that back, because things like methyl ethyl ketone were banned. Methyl ethyl ketone,
that's some
toluene
bad stuff. Yeah, MEK, boy, that stuff would eat you alive.
Oh,
Great video, Jim. Good stuff.
And
Steve, how you doing, buddy?
And to think all that was all available over the counter before, huh, Mitch?
Yeah.
Oh,
remember the days?
Oh, MEK, yeah, I remember.
We used it in the military.
We used it as a solvent back in the day when they made model airplanes out of this plastic stuff. They had these almost ready to flies, and that's how you joined. You'd hold the plastic together, and you'd put this MEK, and it would wet between the joint.
Yeah.
It would melt the plastic together, it would weld it together.
Yeah. We played with that. That's what we used to clean parts in the Marines on the aircraft.
Yeah. But you don't want to breathe too much of that stuff. That stuff will kill you.
And before we painted, we would use the toluene to wipe the T6061 metal off.
Is that where it blew up, Jim? Right there,
Yeah,
where you're
that's
above
exactly what blew up right there.
Wow.
Great capture, dude.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And it's the fire department cut the hole in the roof there to vent it.
So the fire department want this footage too?
I don't know. I caught the
Jim, you should be
news channel. there.
You should be talking to your local fire department and police about a program in a 107 pilot. They might be interested. 'Cause I can't see why they wouldn't want this in our arsenal. A lot of the police and fire around here have it.
Now listen, here's a little, let's call it a bypass, since no government agency is allowed to use DJI equipment. But I am.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's a workaround.
Yep.
They're not allowed to use it, but we are. And all we're selling them is the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finished product.
Go back to that. There you go, Al. That's the quad that I was flying.
Now that's the same one Al has, right?
Yeah, well, that's the same style. So that's the Cinewook. I built that, and that's got the DJI Vista in it. But I mounted my, I 3D printed this GoPro mount for it. And I remember. I put my Hero 7 on it, and this video here is from YouTube, and you can see the footage on the big screen is the GoPro, and then up in the corner is the digital feed, and you can see this. You can see on the GoPro how the stabilization has really smoothed it out.
That's unbelievable.
But you talk about they keep talking about cinematic FPV. let me run this around here where I get some here. If you're out to shoot, you want to shoot some cinematic stuff. Don't stop on me now.
I saw Ken Dono doing some of
There it
that.
goes.
That's pretty good stuff.
But I mean,
yeah.
look how nice and smooth. Well, this is it's getting jerked around by
computer
the
jitters.
but
yeah.
But
You posted this video, didn't you, Mitch?
Yeah, I did.
You posted, yeah, I did. Yeah,
I did.
Very
yeah.
smooth.
Look how pretty that kind of flying is. If you mix that in with some camera drone stuff,
you
cut it
mounted
in.
that over the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I say it looks familiar.
Yeah. But I mean, that was my first time I actually put the GoPro on a quad. I didn't want to risk that GoPro on a quad, but I figure I'm getting good enough now and confident enough, and this little Cinewhoop is a very stable platform to fly that you can really do some beautiful cinematic stuff. I shot this in 2.7K, 60 frames a second, fully stabilized.
Nice. Yeah, that's why my Osmo Action's all cracked to hell and everything.
No, wait a second.
Lens cover.
Wait a second,
destroyed.
Mitch. You say you're afraid to put your GoPro on that, but yet you got a 1.5K Mavic 2 that you fly around, which is that much money.
Yeah, but I'm not flying it down
different.
between trees at 60 miles an hour either.
Yeah, but you've gotten really good at it.
I'm getting there. I'm learning. I got a long way to go, but you just got to keep practicing.
But your progress has gone leaps and bounds from where you first started.
Oh, no doubt. I've been doing it for I guess a little less than a year and a half, and
yeah,
I'm being as cautious a pilot as I am.
Are you doing the simulators too?
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried the simulator, and with the my jumper connected to it, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know why. I'd rather just fly it. If I crash it, I crash it.
This kind of scene right here is where the cinematic FPV stuff really
it's the low proximity
is useful. Yeah, flying low along something. You can imagine flying along the ridge of a mountain or a river or something more scenic than this park. But you can get
these your own special PIDs that you put in here, your own special tuning.
Actually, it's just this. I just used the new Betaflight, the latest version, the stock PIDs, and they're smooth as hell. Betaflight's getting really good about that. When you build a quad, now the stock PIDs are so close that in this quad there's just no bad characteristics. There's no oscillation, no prop wash oscillation. Everything is just smooth as silk.
Yeah, and you're not getting that what's called the washout.
No,
because you have the duct.
And no wobble.
The wobble.
And don't forget, this is stabilized footage too. So the GoPro is taking.
No, Mitch. That's your flying capability. You took
it
out
of course
and you
Steve.
stabilized it for
Of course it is.
All right, we're gonna pop Mike Night Trains in here.
Yeah, he does some good videos too.
He
He does.
He did the Hero. He's saying in the chat he used the Hero 8.
Oh, okay.
On it, and
he's going to do some real flying and make me feel bad.
Where people use that real steady, what is it called? The software that's really stupid out. Is that something you do, Mitch, or not?
No, because the camera, the stabilization in the camera for me now,
it's got hyper smooth in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got hyper smooth, and mine's the 7, and even that.
Well, I know other people are using that software, that Real Steady Go.
Yeah,
and putting their GoPro footage in it, and it really.
It makes it silky smooth.
He said this was 1080-60 with the hyper smooth. Well, GoPro 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the hyper smooth only works on 1080, right?
I don't.
Or will it work
I don't know that much. I don't know that much about it.
I don't know. I got the GoPro 8.
I don't have any GoPro.
That's why
I'm
it
asking.
doesn't work, Steve. There's something that don't work in 4K, and I can't remember it.
Hey, the 9 is coming out now. They got the rumors for the Hero 9 are 5K, and it's the stabilization's supposed to be at yet another level.
Hyper
So-
Smooth 3 and a front screen. I don't care
Yeah, and a
about
front screen, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
What's he-
only 1080, he says. I thought that's what it was. I
If
heard
you're
that.
doing selfie stuff, yeah, the front screen could be helpful.
What's he flying here? Is this a squirt?
What are
He
you
said
flying,
it's
Mike?
a 3-inch Cinewhoop, he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know all you guys build your stuff, so I'm assuming the frames you guys select is the squirt frames.
Yeah, I started with that. It was a $32 frame, that reptile frame, and it came out really nice.
What happened to those lifetime guaranteed frames? Were they the Marmots or something?
The Marmots, yeah, I've got a Marmot. I haven't
Jones
wrecked
was-
it yet, though,
that's what I
but they
thought.
say if you ever break the frame, they give you a new one.
I know. Well, I saw plenty of
Syndrome
videos.
Spurs V2.
No.
But I
Nice
don't fly that.
footage, Mike.
I don't fly that
Yeah,
aggressive.
great footage.
Yeah. Yeehaw! Wait a second. Don't pass up the briquettes. Get them going first.
These guys who, I mean, even that flying underneath that is crazy.
Well, Jim is so hard. I mean, because obviously there's no GPS. You're flying all by throttle.
No, but you know
throttle
what?
movement
It's practice and confidence, and I'm finding I'm flying between trees and in places that a couple months ago I wouldn't dare even think about. And every time I fly, I just get a little better, a little more confident, and you reach a point where you basically say, "I'm in charge of this thing now. I'm not just reacting to it. I'm telling it what to do." You know.
Yeah.
And it takes time, and the only way you can do it is
That's a
to
good
do
way
it.
of putting it, Mitch.
Yeah, because when you first start flying FPV, you're basically hanging on to this thing for dear life, trying to keep it, keep it heading in directions where it's not going to crash. And then it
It would
just
drive me
clicks
insane. Yeah.
It clicks all of a sudden. It just clicks, and you realize that you're connected through the sticks to this thing, and that's the same thing that I when I fly RC airplanes, I've been doing it so long that I don't, I become one with the airplane when I fly an RC airplane. And
But it's such a learning curve. I mean, it's just the flying, then learning how to bind it and beta flight. Then if you really want to get involved, is making your own and soldering or fixing what you break.
But that's why I'm doing that Sunday night show is to kind of.
But
get
having
together
those
with the guys.
goggles on is another world too.
It is, but you get used to it. After a while, you begin to really feel at home with the goggles.
I haven't yet stood up flying. I have to sit down. I feel
I can
myself
stand
like
up,
I'm
but
leaning,
I like
leaning
to.
forward.
I'm old. I'm old. I like to
Right under his
relax.
legs. Very
Between
good.
the legs,
Nice.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Look at it. That
And,
better
he's,
have been a
and
three.
he's not talking 10 octaves higher.
Yeah.
That was great, Mike.
Nice
That
fun,
was
buddy.
cool. Yeah. But it's an exciting thing, Al. You'll find the FPV has got an allure to it that it just hooks you, grabs you, and you're either going to love it or hate it. But if you love it, you get addicted. You get addicted to it, and then you end up with more and more quads and.
All right. So
more and
what
more
were we
flying.
what were we saying about these, Mitch, compared to the DJI goggles? What's the difference here?
Well,
Or this
they
is
are
just
the
an adapter.
Yeah, that's the faceplate adapter that screws onto the front of the goggles so that you can fly analog quads. It puts an analog receiver onto the front of your goggles and then jacks it into the goggles through the AV in jack on the goggles.
So you're still seeing analog, or
Yeah, you're going to see analog. It's
But
a
better?
way that you don't have to have a pair of Fat Sharks too. You can use the DJI goggles for both your analog quads and your digital quads, because most guys, even if they go digital, they're not going to be 100% digital. Your tiny whoops, they're analog. They're too small to carry all that digital shit in them. So you're still going to have a raft of analog quads. I still build analog quads, and I still enjoy flying analog quads. The sensation of flying is the same. You just don't have as gorgeous an image in your goggles.
oh,
I'm
once
surprised you're not spoiled by it and like, oh, I'm not flying.
Exactly.
No, I find myself flying probably more analog than digital because
Really?
I've got 5 quads now that have the digital system in it.
Wow.
Hi, Brent.
But I've got probably 15 of them that have analog stuff in them, and I'm not
Hi,
going to
Brent.
change them out. I'm going to keep flying the analog, and I still enjoy it. And
I was just going to ask you that. Are you going to switch out the cameras?
no,
The
no.
DJI
When I build a new quad, I'll probably build them digital. But I love flying any of them. I have just as much fun flying that little Tiny Hawk thing, which is a $100.
And Jim, Joe's in here too. Joe came in.
Joe Blaylock? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe. How you
Hey,
doing, buddy?
I would have more confidence, though, learning to fly via the digital than the analog, because I see all that breaking up and all that going on.
Yeah, but you'll find that the quads that you're going to fly to learn on are going to be smaller, and they're going to be analog. You know what I'm saying? If you tried to start with a big enough quad that had the digital stuff, you would be handicapping yourself. Like Art right now is learning how to fly his little Tiny Hawk around in the house. And today, for the first time, he actually managed to fly an entire battery and keep the thing in the air. It's stabilized. It's still in stabilized mode, but even though in stabilized mode, it's still an accomplishment to not keep banging into the ceiling, banging into the floor, banging into the ceiling.
Mitch, I think it took me about 5-6 months to get out of stabilized mode.
Yeah,
and I finally flew acro, and I just forced myself to fly it, crashing a lot, but finally I got it.
Yours was banging up too, right, Al? You said the power.
When you do stabilized mode, it seems to fluctuate more. I think you have more control over an acro mode when you hit the throttle more.
You're pitching. You're also using pitching up and down as well to control your altitude. So your altitude control is both power and pitch at the same time. But you're flying in acro mode. You're really flying. The quad is not using the gyros for anything. It's basically, well, it is for the PID loops, but it's not trying to right itself.
It's like an ADI mode.
Yeah, I find stabilized flying right now is you're always fighting it. You got to keep the stick forward to keep moving forward. If you
Seems
let
like
go of the stick,
the motors are running faster. It sounds like they're running heavier on stable mode. At least when I'm running it on my my Megabee, it sounds like that when I was first flying.
For flying around inside the house, most guys use stabilized mode indoors anyway, because you got to. And even some of the guys who do drone racing with these whoops will race in stabilized mode. They find they can go faster that way. But the problem is it's two completely different styles of flying, and if you don't really stick to one, you'll never really master that one. Your brain will have to relearn every time you change from one mode to the other. In one mode, in acro mode, you pitch the quad forward and it starts to go forward, but you don't have to hold the stick forward. If you held the stick forward, it would roll over upside down. So you establish your pitch and it goes, and then when you want to slow down, you pull the quad back and level it off. You're like an airplane. You're actually flying the thing. In stabilized mode, when you let go, it levels off. So if you want to go forward, you have to hold the stick forward, like a Mavic. And it's
just like Mike just said it perfectly here. Air mode only keeps your motors idling versus acro having full motor control.
Yeah, you definitely want to graduate from stabilized. The minute you can fly a whole pack, especially when you go outside. If you're going to continue to fly indoors, you're probably going to stay in stabilized mode, because flying acro mode indoors is very difficult.
Because you got to be moving forward.
You got to be really tight on it. You got to be really good. When you're outdoors and you have more room for the thing to wander a little bit, I think that most of the guys that give advice will tell you that as soon as you can get out of stabilized flying, then get out of stabilized flying. That's what you should do.
The sooner the better.
There he is.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Boy.
What's up?
What's up, Dan?
What's going on, man? My roommate.
Oh man, Dan, how you doing?
Are you home?
You're on your feet, dude. I was gonna say, wow.
I'm sitting down, man. My roommate decided to do something gross in the bedroom, so now I'm out of the bedroom.
How'd the surgery go? How'd your
Hanging,
surgery?
just me and my little IV thing hanging out.
How'd your surgery go?
No, I don't really know, honestly. You know, it's very painful. They've opened up a whole new plethora of problems, I feel like, but it is what it is, man. This is all of this is coming back to one blood clot, and who knows how long it's been there. So.
Oh man.
Now, is it cleared or just partially cleared? What?
No, it's they don't even want to mess with it. Honestly, Jim, you'll understand this. The vein that went across, that pleural vein,
Yeah.
has an inlet from the spleen, and then one goes down, right? Branch,
Yeah.
it's like a Y fork. One
It
goes
bifurcates.
down, one goes over to the liver, and the other one starts at the spleen, right?
Yeah.
It considers that that entire Y from both sides down was blocked. Both sides all the way across and down. So what my body did was it tried to compensate by creating new canals and new veins. And so if you look at my CT scan, it doesn't look like a portal vein anymore. It looks like a big vein with like a whole bunch of tentacles that have like, you know, come out of it.
They tried to grow out.
Right,
They
they tried to grow
reestablish new
out.
growth.
And anyway, some of them connected in good spots, some of them didn't. And so what they did is they decided, hey man, you don't need your spleen, and we got to slow some of this blood flow down. So if we get rid of your spleen, then you shouldn't have nearly as much blood needed to go through those. So instead of getting rid of the clot, they're going to try to reduce the pressure by taking away the spleen, essentially. So
when are they doing that, Dan?
they sliced the spleen today and disconnected it from the body, and then they put 2 big slices in it and they injected it, and over time it'll just disintegrate.
Huh.
Wow.
All right,
So-
but that doesn't solve the problem.
No, and they can't. The main problem won't be there. So the objective is to try to just make it work. Like that's the problem. That's where we're at. Jim, if they go through and they cut all those extra things that my body's created, I'll bleed to death no matter what, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I'm not out of this yet. Jim knows. You should have heard the other 2 options they offered me, bro. I'll let Jim tell that story at some point. I don't know if I have the energy to do it, but anyways, it was
How long
like
are you gonna be there? How long are you gonna be in the hospital?
no idea. I have no idea. Literally,
No.
I have no clue. So I'm just
Because
yeah,
this is a situation that has to be taken care of one way or the other.
right.
He's
So-
got portal vein thrombosis.
Yep.
It's extreme. It's like the worst vein to get it in, honestly. Like anywhere else might have been okay. They could have broken it up or whatever the case was. But in this
So what's the
scenario,
long-
what's that?
I'm asking crazy questions, but what's the long-term side effect of them doing what they did and you having a job?
And we don't know that, man.
Don't know.
No, the long-term side effects are if they don't do
Right.
anything.
I die.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you
kind of
gotta-
like the double-edged sword. You're
You
damned
gotta-
if you do and damned if you don't.
Right. You gotta understand, this is my 3rd time with varicocele. I mean, I almost bled out the first 2 times this happened. Like, just within a matter of 7 hours, I had already consumed half of my blood from my digestive tract. So, and those
They
were
shipped
small.
him to this hospital because at this hospital was the only doctor that would attempt
Right.
the
Any of
surgery.
this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is, yeah.
Well,
So-
thank goodness for that.
Dan's in rough shape right now, man. Rough
You
shape.
look it.
Yeah. It's weird, man. I lost like another crazy amount of weight since I've been here.
Your face has got thinner.
Yeah.
It's all that liquid
A lot
diet.
of praying, and we're all praying for you, bro.
Well, I need it, bro. I'm not out of the woodwork yet. I have no idea what's going to happen from all
You've
this.
got a long road of recovery ahead of you.
Keep it up, man. Please keep it up. Yeah, that's the other thing. Bro, I have no idea how I managed to pull this off at all. My insurance company has just got to be like, what in the fuck is going on with this guy? Why did we ever give him insurance?
Well, it's too bad because they're stuck with you now.
Yeah, well, and that's, yeah.
Just don't miss a payment.
You know, thank God, though. Thank God.
Exactly.
Yeah, but not having worked in, almost 2 years now. Hell, I burned through my savings account, probably 4 months ago. It's just been hustling and trying to make things work at this point. You know, I can't push myself off on my parents, dude. They just retired. Like this, they don't want to have to do any of this. And it's not by choice, obviously. You know, it's just frustrating that now that they're retired, they have to deal with their, 33-year-old son whose body has decided to just become a plethora of issues, So, I don't know.
And moving in with mom and dad has more downside than upside.
Trust me.
Financially, you can't get any aid.
No, and that's exactly what I'm going through now is at the state because of the household and how much they make.
The government don't care about age. They still consider you a son.
Right. So the fact that I'm living in their residency and they make upwards of over $270,000 a year means that I don't get any kind of help. So, there's, like I said, there's some serious downsides to this.
At least you got parents that, that's an upside. That's an upside.
I know. I'm taking everything in stride, though, man. I don't know where to go from here. My entire adult life has been plagued with medical problems. So, and for no reasons. I used to be in really good shape until about 2014, 15. I was 250, high school weight my entire life. And then that happened. I had my motorcycle accident, and then I had to take steroids and put a ton of weight on, and then I had pancreatitis, and then I had 2 bouts of pancreatitis, and then my liver was having problems, and then it's like it's a never-ending cycle of viciousness on Dan's end, man. So guys, it's not like I said. I say this all the time. It's not that I attempt to be negative on YouTube. It's just I can only be so positive and still have fun. So it's not, everybody's like, damn, such a negative person these days. Well,
bullshit, Dan. Don't take that personally, man.
Well,
you need to vent, and otherwise it will hurt you even more.
Eat you up.
Yeah.
But when you do vent, then somebody has something to say about it. I'm not going to name names. We already know who said something.
Listen, Dan.
Who cares?
My father told me something when I was a little kid. When kids would his favorite expression, he would always say, "Consider the source."
Yeah.
Consider the source.
I get it.
Don't take it. The majority of us that consider ourselves part of this community are with you. And none of us can really understand what you're going through, but
I fully understand. That's why me and Rick are always hospital buddies, man. Every time he goes down, I'm like, Rick, how are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, Rick Alber's another same thing, man.
Me and Rick, we are 2 peas in a pod for this medical stuff, bro.
I've come to think that you guys you love drones, but then you love hospitals. So you've got to find a hospital that has an area with a big field next to it, so when you're there, you can fly your drone.
Exactly.
Then you'd be in seventh heaven.
Just take off out of the window, Dan. Open the window and away you go.
Yeah, no, I told Brian, I said, if I'm here for another week, what we're going to do is you're going to bring me my Bebop 2 Sky Controller, and you're going to send it up to my room, and then I'm going to send you down to the parking lot. We're going to start up the drone, and I'm going to connect to it, and I'm going to go fly from my room, So you can transfer me the footage. I'll fly right up to my window. Yeah.
Dan, I can fully understand, man. The first time when I got diagnosed with my diabetes, they put me in the hospital for 5 days. This is back in the old days when they weren't sure what to do because of my age when I came down with it. I was, over 20. I was in my 20s, and they didn't know where to put me. So they considered me back in those days what they called a juvenile diabetic before they have the definitions now of type 1 and type 2. So they were in there, my doctor sitting there going, I know you have to be in here. There's nothing you can ever do. And I go damn straight. I just bought an old Jeep, an old 43 Willys military Jeep. It's sitting on the side of my parents' home. And I said, can I bring it up on the side of the hospital and I can work it on it out here? And he goes, if you can get it here somehow and you can sneak out, without Nurse Ratchet over there catching you, have at it.
Well, I mean, it's worse now because I've even found out that I have another hernia forming on the exact opposite side of my right inguinal hernia. So it's already pushed its way through on the left side. So now I'm about to have both hernias in the exact same spot on either side of the groin. So I've still got my
Stop the exercise for a while.
dude. Well, listen, man. I did, but I don't think that's what's causing it, dude. I think a lot of this was my motorcycle accident. I think I got thrown around like a rag doll in that accident. I was going very fast. I'm just thinking I tore a lot of stuff, and it took forever to finally start, reaching some of those tears.
Yeah, that's possible.
I don't understand how I've never, I haven't lifted anything heavy in forever. That was the first time I did it, but I already had all 3 of the hernias anyways. I knew that day, like 2 weeks ago, that I had another hernia starting on the left side.
Well, your problem has nothing to do with any of that.
Right. So, I don't know, man. I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
Well,
I'm trying to smile.
Get some rest and come visit your friends whenever you want, because we're always somewhere.
That's right. They give me Dilaudid and I just go.
Oh yeah, that stuff.
No, that sucks.
When I had my kidney stone, man, and I went to the hospital, and I walked in. I mean, I drove myself to the hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning with a stuck kidney stone. I never had nothing ever like that, and I'll never forget the feeling of that Dilaudid injection when it hit my veins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, instant floating, everything.
Oh man,
everything
all of a sudden the pain stopped and I was just happy.
I know.
Let me out of here, I said.
They gave me one of those.
Oh, you got the pumps?
Things, yeah.
Yeah. So every hour I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean, they know, like I said, I told them I already had surgery down there. You guys are opening a wound that I was told not to have anyone touch 2 weeks ago. They already looked at this and told me, like, Dr. Patel was just like, don't let anybody do anything down here. This, like, it hasn't healed for 2 years. Nothing is allowing it to heal. So if you keep, screwing it up, dude, you're going to end up, with no manhood or, no testicle. Like, there's so much that goes along with that. So I'm still fearful for my right one, because my right one is not going down. It's still this big, and it's been, I don't know, going on 4 or 5 months now. So I don't know if it's salvageable. I don't know what's going on with that thing.
You know what they call that? You know what they call that, Dan?
What's that?
Called blue balls.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
But not
try to be genuine. I try to be a genial guy. I think I just quit caring. Like I said, 2 years ago, I quit caring. I just decided from this point on, I'm going to tell everybody what I think, and I'm just going to put it, like, I just don't care. I'd rather be honest than bullshit around everything. So that's when my YouTube channel took a weird, tilt for the horizon, which isn't bad, man. It just means I'm really honest. So I don't know. But at the same time, it's really caused a lot of diversity with the people that I hang out with. Everybody's like, well, you shouldn't talk like that. You're just this and you're that. And I'm like, well, you know what? You don't like my sarcastic ass. Sorry.
Yeah, if you don't love it, leave it. Remember that expression?
Yep, exactly.
If you don't love it, leave it.
There's one thing I can guarantee you. I'll always be honest. And I'll be very blunt. So, I
would think Bob Casey just said, Dan, no more dumpster lifting.
No, that's not what
maybe
did it.
that aggravated it.
That's not what did it. I already had it before that. I could tell. I was hanging out with Lance Cracker a month ago before I even did the dumpster lift, and I told him, man, I'm like, I got to keep pushing down here. I'm pretty sure I got another hernia starting. So it had already started forming at that point. Dumpster lift had nothing. Not that it helped, but
Well, good thing you didn't get into a little squabble or boxing match you're supposed to get in with.
Man, I still should have done it.
No, you don't want to do that.
That would have been the stupidest thing ever.
No, not in the condition you're in, dude.
Take it from people that know a little bit about medical.
Hey, listen.
It would be stupid.
Best out of 3 matches, thumb wrestling. Bring your ass down here, Bobo. We're gonna do this.
There you go.
Take you out my tank of a thumb, buddy.
Well, Jim, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. It's 11 o'clock here.
Yeah,
it is getting late.
Yeah.
Dan, you take care of yourself, buddy.
Doing my best,
See
man.
you soon. See you soon. Listen, I always send you an invite whenever I have a live stream, so don't be a stranger. Come on in anytime you want.
Most of the times, though, they're doing like meds and pills and all that. Like, this is kind of a break.
No, I understand, but Always good to see you, and wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Get over it and get on with everything. Steve, take care. Al, good to see you. Congratulations on your FP. Congratulations on your FPV adventures.
Yeah, excited.
You're gonna love it. Jim, thanks for having me in. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, we're
Bye-bye,
gonna wrap
Mitch.
it up.
Have a good night. Al, are you telling me that you are getting back into FPV again?
I've been flying, but I just don't post it because I'm not very good at it. And I remember Ed mentioning something that I should post, so your progression, but I just fly it, mostly in the backyard, in the front around the house, just the Cinewoops, man. I haven't gone out and flown like some of you guys have.
I made Ed go out and buy HD. I can listen. I want everybody, because the moment you realize how free FPV is versus GPS, it's like a weight just comes off. You're like, oh my god, I never knew I could have this amount of control over my flying. And that's an experience only gained through putting yourself through the works of you know what I'm saying. And you get it. You've already been playing with it. Once you really hone that skill set, though, Al. And you can just hit the tiniest little gaps with just precision every single time, man. That's when your whole world just changes as a pilot.
It's a problem trying to hit those gaps now and destroying my stuff.
You're the Jedi. You're the Jedi pilot.
That's part of it, man.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. I got to get some video done.
I'm out.
All right, looking forward to the video, Jim. Dan, take care. Steve, be safe.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Everybody in the chat, man.
Dan, stay well, man.
Take care, guys.
Prayers are with you, man.
Hey, Steve, by the way, thank you for that, buddy. You didn't have to.
I know. You're welcome, sir.
You are the man, so.
You to get